Welcome back to Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen. Cat is frozen, but we have the whole crew, and that's the most important portion of this. It's another early morning for some of us. It's fine. Oh, she's just going to be frozen for forever. This is the best. This is the best. Awesome. Boy. Our last episode had a bit of a tough ending. Some sadness to be had as our friend Rique did perish in the front lines of battle against an undead monstrosity wielding cataclysmic flames. The party that did survive was finally allowed a reprieve. It had been days since they've seen a comfortable bed, much less their own. And it had been days since they weren't rapidly riding somewhere on horseback. Our party today will begin post that rest for our show today. The overarching things that I want to touch on here that I'm not going to require the cast to recapture are some of the things that we've found out. During this attack on Kalamon, the undead soldiers, these Knights of Solamnia from years and years ago, having killed the governor of Kalamon, and a Lord Soth having made their way through the catacombs and through visions that our party has experienced, claimed the cataclysmic flame and what seemed to be a rather large lance from the stony dragon statue there as well, before exiting through the southern wall, what seems to be by just brute force.
Did we not just get the tip of the lance? Can't remember. I thought we just got the head of the spear. Maybe I'm wrong.
The head is missing. The haft was there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And if I fucked that up previously,
we got a dragon stick.
You have a dragon stick. Yeah, so you basically just have the haft of that there. Yeah.
Or not getting the head of yourself.
So some of the things that were mentioned or seen during that time was the tragic life of this Lord Soth and his reckoning, as it were. How he failed to prevent the cataclysm. In addition, the knight that was buried beneath in the catacombs, brought to life by these cataclysmic flames in Lord Soth, who battled our party and ended up slaying Rique, mentioned some things during that battle. The most pertinent of it being Lord Soth beckoning the now undead Sarlamir to follow him north to the place of his dishonor, a place in the northern wastes called the City of Lost Names. Sarlamir never got to fulfill that, was defeated by the party with great effort. But that's about what we've got. Some other details being our two gnomish friends, Van and Tatina Rukeldust, are missing. Their workshop trashed, and they are gone. And now Darrett, now Darrett has returned, and Marshal Vendry is supposed to return soon. But this was at a time before our party went to rest. Anything that I've missed? Cast members?
I just realized how royally screwed we got.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was rough. It was rough. Okay.
I got my provisional license.
Yes, you did get your provisional license from YN and a rather aggressive assurance that you will be taking the mage's test at some point in time, that this is not something you can avoid. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see about that. I think that's about it. We would.
You said the city was the city of what?
The city of lost names is what was mentioned by the undead creature, I guess. The former knight Sarlamir. For those of you at home, our party did level. They are now level 7. And in the process of resting, recovering, and recuperating back at their chambers. So as I ensure that everything is functioning and Roll20 isn't giving us some shit, that's where we come in for today. In probably not an early morning, but more of a probably slept in, our party rises. Still tired, but less exhausted. We were at 2 points. The way that exhaustion works is that it does take days of rest to fully clear out your exhaustion. So for those of you that were at exhaustion 2, you would now be at exhaustion 1, which is still disadvantage on most things. And we just kind of have to hope that you'll get another day of respite between now and whatever comes next.
Straight back to bed.
Straight back to bed. Not how long rests work. All right. But we would awaken here, and it would be quiet. The wind, you could hear kind of whistling past the windows up here on the keep's hill. As you dress, belt yourselves up, ready for the day, perhaps, as Talonora said, with the wish that you could continue sleeping. You can see the wounds and scars on your friends, just their bodies from the battle, the flames, the cataclysm, but also on their faces.
Yeah, can I say, Svartal would lay there probably until somebody like walked over him or kicked him or something. Just being a big lump of meat, not really, no thoughts, brain empty. He'd wake up if kicked or whatever, and then he'd look around the room and see exactly what probably you just described. And then it would probably hit him that, remembering what just happened. And then, he'd likely go into a rage. So, I'm in a rage.
Svartal rages in his bed. With
I'm
on the ground
seconds.
probably, but yeah.
And of course,
Sorry,
this
what'd you
would
say?
likely wake up anyone else that happens to be around. In case you were hoping for some form of quiet reverie, it is immediately shaken by Svartal.
I jolt awake. And bark at Svartal. What?
He wouldn't say anything. He would just be kind of very mad and angry and probably stomping around the middle of the table.
It takes me a little bit, and then I realize that he's raging and he's having like a tantrum essentially, and I see. I go lay back down.
Okay. Ravenna rolls over. Svartal seethes and paces around the central table. Talonor, Reyna, hard to sleep through that. Talonor, your trances are pretty light anyways.
Yeah, I'm just grumbling to myself and slowly rolling over.
I think Reyna would have woken up like really early before anybody else and gone to like fetch food. So at this point in time, Reyna's literally entering the room with like a tray full of food and then just kind of like backs out ever so slightly, afraid that whatever's going to go on is going to throw all the food off the tray. So like, Svartal, can I? I'll just leave this out here then until you're ready to eat. I'll set the tray down very carefully outside.
Yeah, just like right outside the door and shut him. Like, well, we'll get to that eventually. Sardo continues pacing around the table here. Reyna, you look across. Both Talonor and Ravenna, I think, would be kind of poignantly rolled away from each other, like backs to the center here as they both try to capture what little bit of rest they still can. You can hear Talonor a bit grumbling on the side. Svartal seems to be the only one up and about, though aggressively.
I'm aggressively awake. Ah!
Yeah, you're angry. And I don't know. Brayden, do you want to ask Svartal what's up?
Calmly, like sitting. I think there was a table on the map in the room.
Yeah, there is. You should hopefully be able to see all of that.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, just kind of like carefully like pulling out a chair so you hear like the like really awkward scraping of the wood on the stone, and just then she'll sit down. Do you want to talk about it? We don't have to. We can go.
No, I'm
beat
trying to
stuff
figure out
up.
if it's inappropriate, but it doesn't matter if it's inappropriate. He would so Svartal is going to pick up one of the chairs and throw it at Raziq's bed.
Oh god. So a chair goes crashing across to the far side of the room, breaking against the bed.
Beating stuff up it is then. I'll ask some of the guards to round up some furniture and create what do the kids call it nowadays? Like a smash room?
I hate that name. It is what it's called. I hate what that name because I feel like it implies something totally different.
Yeah, it really
That's
does
what
imply something
it means.
different. Yeah.
Is it actually called that?
Mind
Oh,
out
I
of the
agree
gutter,
with that.
Svartal.
It's not.
Yeah, I mean, Rita, do you leave to go
It's
do
not
that?
actually called that, is it?
Yeah. It's
Kinda,
called
yeah.
Smash.
Yeah, it is.
Or a rage room.
Rage,
I've
there
heard
we
two
go,
ways.
rage room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Reyna, is that what you want to go do? You want to go accost some guards to gather together some furniture for Svartal to smash?
I would just like to assume maybe we have like a quaint little messenger person, like, or even like a bell to ring. So like ring ring, you know, some attendant comes up and then like kind
Of
of like
course you
whispers out
would.
the door, like, can you any random furniture, plates, weapons, just can you kind of accumulate this stuff in a space where it won't hurt anybody or make anybody scared?
The small mousy man from behind the door sees Svartal stomping around the room. And goes, yes, I think there's probably a storage room that's not in use. Just give me a bit. Hurriedly, with fear, goes away from the raging barbarian in the room. Another chair smashes against a wall.
I'll picking up these like splinters. I'll save these for later.
Yeah. Talonor, you are the closest to where the chair would be smashed across. Do you have any reaction to the thing?
Talonor
being
just kind of reactions because he's rolled away. He didn't really see what he was going to do. He just
Mhm.
sort of violently rolls the other way and essentially tumbles out of bed. He's like, well, I'm glad that's how you decided to go about rousing us. It was going to take a lot to get me out of that bed.
It's better if you just let him run his course.
Oh, I had no intention of trying to stop him. I was sort of watching Svartal have a temper tantrum.
Or
Technically,
Svartal.
do I have to like punch an object to stay
Yeah,
in range?
so you're actively like destroying things. That's the note here.
Yeah.
Is that
Okay.
if to maintain this seething rage, there are just things you just start tearing things up, whether it is chairs, the table, beds, upholstery.
Oh, not the beds, buddy.
Your plant? I don't know, man, but there's things,
Not the plant.
the doors, the windows, there's plenty of objects in here. Small candle holders. There's lots of stuff to smash should you have need of it.
How much
Svartle
do you
smash.
smash?
Yeah. So Svartle, I guess my question is like, how long does this go on?
It wouldn't go on that long, but it would go on. I'd say it'd go on long enough to where half the chairs are probably gone. There may or may not be a hole or dent in the table. He would have kicked, probably any random thing on the ground.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, a minute and a half, 2 minutes,
Sure.
nothing crazy.
Just like getting it out. So as you're done, the similar exhaustion as after your rage's end does hit you. The exhaustion of the road still compounds that. Out of breath. Svartle stops. The room is destroyed. There's stuff, broken furniture everywhere. And you all have just sat quietly through it all.
Well, I suppose now since everybody's up, Talinor, can you... And she rustles into her bag and she takes out the book that's like locked and tosses it to him. Can you see about opening that?
Can I examine the book?
Which book is this?
It was the logbook that was in Raziq's pack.
Oh.
She
Well,
holds on to
But
the orb, but she
the
tosses...
DM's not supposed to laugh like that. That's
Oh.
not that doesn't make anybody comfortable.
He's like,
I'm not
DM's
comfortable.
just like, the what? That one item, DM laughs and, oh, that's really bad. Ha ha ha. For the party. Ha ha ha. Oh no.
Jeez.
Okay.
I mean, I will take a look at the book. I'm not trying to open it right now. But what's
Sure.
going on with it?
Yeah, we're missing like a big purple gem. Going.
Oh no.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll investigation.
Sure. Every single time I nearly click intimidation. That is an 8.
It is locked, both physically, and Talinor, you get the sense with some of the minor runes on the lock also magically.
I'm not sure he wanted anyone to open this, really. It's protected in multiple ways, but... Did you find the key, perhaps? Or did anybody hear from Rique about this book?
I went through his things and I found that, a ball, and she's referring to the crystal thingy that he has. But she describes it as a ball. A carving, and just that's about it. If I recall. That was like pretty much everything I found.
Okay, well, if there's nothing that would clearly open this, I'm not entirely sure what you want me to do with it. It is physically locked. If it was just magical, I might be able to open it. But...
Are you saying you can't just, I don't know, wave your fingers or something and open it? Or something? I don't know how that all, and she does this to him, that all works.
Well, like I say, if it was purely magical in nature, then yes. But if you're asking me if I could pick a lock outside of, well, I remove it by force, but I don't really see the need for that.
Talinor, you can roll Arcana here too.
Sure thing. 15.
You have been traveling with Rique for a while, through a lot of things. And you would note that Rique would utilize some of the crystal-granted magic to lock and unlock this particular book.
I mean, I'll mention that, and I'll say I don't suppose you've found anything that would resemble one of these crystals on his person. I imagine he had it with him.
Oh, the ball. Yeah. She reaches into her shirt and she holds it out.
Yeah, it's a rather large, rough-cut, blue, glowing gem. The interior of it crackles occasionally as if filled with electricity.
Ah. This would probably have something to do with it. Is there any noticeable sort of, facet for said crystal on the book?
No. It is not something that he would set into it, but you know that he was a bit secretive about his magical capabilities, but this was more than likely his spell focus, would utilize to access the book.
Well, he certainly locked it magically. I mean, there's a couple ways I could go about it. I suppose I could try to use the thing to open it, or I could just try to disenchant the book entirely.
Well,
What do we think is in here? Is this not simply his diary? It feels a bit strange to read a dead friend's diary, but...
I had imagined it had plans or schematics or whatnot for how to care for that thing. And she points at the mechanical fox.
Yeah, I suppose Brass Brush would still be here, but without its master, right, its creator, it doesn't really do anything. Brass Brush is a construct. It does require...
It's a high level Pokemon. We don't have the badges.
Yeah, and it will sit there unused,
Yeah.
waiting for its creator or for someone to be able to magically access it.
Can
to
I,
give it new orders.
sort of examining the crystal a bit more and stuff, can I just kind of, try to tap into it? See if there's anything, obvious to me in an arcane sense?
Sure. I think that's another arcana, just in general.
Sure.
You now have the crystal here.
20
is good.
Unnatural.
Yeah. Sitting with the crystal, examining it more closely, it is clear how Rique was able to utilize this as you would understand magical spell focuses. Kind of putting a little bit of your magic, right? Like pulling some of the weave and pushing it into the stone there. You feel what is not only just the capability of this crystal to focus the direction of your spells, but the crystal itself holds a font of magic internally. It itself is a source of magic.
Does it strike me as particularly unusual or dangerous in any sense? Or more akin to a traditional, enchanted spell focus or something?
Definitely not traditional. It feels wild, much like the lightning that it has inside. It feels like a roiling storm. It also feels incomplete, as if the shard that you hold is part of a greater whole.
I think this is only part of whatever he was looking for, perhaps.
It does seem usable if you wanted to operate it as a spell focus. It is usable, but its deeper power, I think, needs greater study.
Sure, yeah, I'll say to Ravenna, I'll say, I think I can make use of this, but it's certainly unusual. It's going to take me some time to get used to the thing. Well, you see, this is an arcane focus. Most spellcasters have one. In fact, essentially all spellcasters have one, really, at least of traditional magics, and this was Rique's. He needed it to channel his magic, I suppose. There's unusual elements to it. It seemed to supply him with said magic, but yes, it is, for all intents and purposes, a caster's arcane focus, and I imagine I can use it and, perhaps in time, learn a bit more about it.
As long as you do not lose it.
It's probably safer in my care than yours, Ravenna, so...
She kind of gives you like a little squint, like, excuse me? Like, over my dead body.
Facial expression does not change. Did I stutter?
Very well. I figured the book would have something, I don't know, useful to deal with.
I think in time I'll be
remaining
able to
things.
perhaps access the book with this, but
All right.
for now I'm going to need some time to get used to the thing. It's quite different to my focus.
Well, I will leave it in your care then. But if you lose it, there will be consequences.
Don't pick a fight you can't win, Ravenna.
She kind of squints at him.
Even Svartal in his like a weird stupor kind of goes,
You just threatened masses? What? Was that a threat?
no,
I
it was
wanna
more
see
like
this fight.
it was more like I don't think so.
Okay. So it does seem that the crystal, at some point, or at least with further study or practice, Talinor, could be something you can utilize or understand further. You have what seems to be Rizik's journal as well, and Brass Brush, quietly curled up in the last bed in the room. It's been just sitting there this whole time. Raina, I think you probably would bring the breakfast in after Svartal calms down, which would...
Yeah, now that everybody's awake. Just an assortment of fruits and breads, things that I found
Just
in the kitchen that they would let me
stuff.
take.
Yeah, just
Cheese.
stuff that you were able to take from... Yeah, it just all good. And whoever does decide to sit at the table and just enjoy a brief repast there, the small mousy attendant would eventually come back and... Serena, I've prepared the room for Mr. Svartal if it is still in need. And
Thanks. We might head down after breakfast. What were our plans for today, everyone?
yes, that's another thing. Marshal
Oh.
Vendry has returned. She desires an audience with you all when you're ready.
Well, that's that. Svartal, rage room before or after?
I don't need a rage room.
Okay.
Alright.
I'll go
Sure.
smash by myself.
I'm gonna crunch some stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
No, he's like after the rage coming down, he's pretty sad. He's like in a depressive state. I should say before we do anything, I'm supposed to do this every time I wake up or the beginning of the day.
Sure.
So for my bestial soul, I will pick climbing speed equal to my walking speed.
Yeah. So how does that manifest for Svartal? Is it a physical transformation?
It is a feral power from within. It's not, well, I would say it's very much part of his, when he was touched by the Forest Fae, he doesn't understand what's happening within him, but he's got something going through him. And it's sort of one of those things that goes kind of dormant when he's sleeping, and then when he wakes up, it's all sort of flows through him again. And, it's maybe a dream he had, whether he was doing things, because he's likely having dreams about him. He has druidic type dreams, right? He's usually
like a
an
cat
animal.
dreaming?
He's
Is that like-
yeah, pretty much. He's an animal of some sort in his dreams. He's not a half orc, not at all.
Sure.
He's one of, so if he's jumping, he's probably a cat, and if he's swimming, he might be an otter or something like that.
Absolutely.
Etc. So this last night he dreamt he was a cat.
Nice. Okay. So do we head to, I suppose, Marshal Vendry's office?
I can't remember if I gave the little wood carving to Svartal or not already. I think I did.
Doesn't
I
sound familiar.
I don't
No.
have
think so.
anything.
Okay. Before Ravenna will get up and nod and say, "All right, well, let's get this over with." And she will toss. She goes, "Brother, and tosses the little wooden figurine to him.
Yeah, the one that the kid made way back in Vogler.
Oh, damn. I was wondering why I
Yeah.
didn't remember that.
Yeah, it was, Rique was out during the festival looking at various little things and made friends with a small child who presented him a kingfisher carving by a child.
And she says, it was Rique's. I'm sure he would want you to keep it safe.
Wow. Sad.
Yep. And then she walks off.
We're good at feelings in this family.
Yeah. He would, I mean, so he
Communication.
kind of has a thing, right? He's got, and I believe I described this only in the first episode. He has pieces on his great axe, like antlers and bones and stuff like that. These are not from kills. These are from former friends, you know, friends of the forest and things like that. So the antlers are from deer he met and made friends with and shared meals with and stuff like that. So he would take a couple of leather straps, and near the middle of his hilt where he doesn't touch, he would tie it to his great axe.
Cool. There's a small kingfisher tied to the axe now. Okay. Any last things before we go see Vendry? All right. The castle is quiet, but unlike the day before, there are plenty of people here. They're moving quietly, however, as if respecting the tragedy that had happened yesterday. Most of the attendants here are keeping things low but clean. And you miss the sound of training out in the courtyard. Normally, the guards and the Kalaman military utilize the central training grounds daily, but today it is silent. You make your way through the quiet corridors to Marshal Vendry's office. It seems that despite the governor being gone, and her being now the next in command, she has retained her small office chamber, does not utilize the conference room, the large chamber that the governor did previously. She's sitting behind her desk, and in a small chair, kind of off to the side of the room, you see Lord Baccharis sitting there as well. The marshal looks up, sees you enter, gives a nod, and as you do so, Lord Baccharis observes you. Here they are now, Marshal. Perhaps if we
I
haven't put
glare
our
at him.
faith in
I'm
cell swords.
I'm walking, and as I'm walking, I'm like still walking, staring at him, just like.
That's right. You're all coming into this room, so I'm going to finish my sentence. Here they are now, Marshal. Perhaps if we hadn't put our faith in cell swords, my son would be at my side. The governor would be alive.
I'm not sure your strategy of a suicidal charge would have resulted in much difference, but...
No, they're taken by surprise. It was bad information. The scouts should be flogged and hanged.
I'm sorry, they should be flogged and hanged.
You're a pathetic excuse for a leader. Leading innocent men to their deaths.
The
And
marshal
then
will
blaming others.
Marshall stands, presses her hand slowly into the table, and sighs. That is enough, Baccharis. Leave. Now, he blusters a bit. Without argument, go.
And then Ravenna goes,
He gets up, huffs, kind of tries to push his way out of the room. More than likely, picking Svartle as the largest to maybe lower his shoulder into, and then realizes that's a brick wall, and he bounces off a bit and sidles through the door carefully afterwards.
Even Svartle's not that stupid.
The marshal sighs, sits, and gestures to some of the chairs. I don't have enough chairs for everyone here, but, well, it feels wrong to utilize the governor's chambers so soon after his death. I've spoken with Darrett already, and he will be along soon enough. But I would like a recounting from you, if you would please. Getting the second-hand accounts, there's always something missing. Can you tell me what happened? How the governor died? The guild heads? And what happened beneath the catacombs? What do we need to know? Is there risk of another attack? Please, tell me anything.
I wish that we
Well,
knew more to tell you in a way. But we can tell you what happened to us.
Yeah, she'll like look at Reyna and be like, maybe you should explain.
Knight Reyna is... Do you... She just gestures for you. Please, any information is good information.
I must preface this with that I do not know these people, but somehow we are tied together, for they were, and you just see her like gulp. They were Knights of Solamnia. The main knight who breached Kalaman, his name was Caradoc. Knights of the Rose. He said he worked for some Lord Lauren Soth.
Her eyes will widen in recognition.
She will Ravenna will put a hand on Reyna's shoulder and abruptly say, they were no longer knights. You do not have to call them as such. They were just
Right.
mere puppets.
Undead, even. In fact, that's what we found in the tomb. He also had a plaque, seemed to be a Knight of Solamnia.
And you're sure they're not affiliated with your order? Well,
They're not anybody that I know. At least they carried the name of the Knights of Solamnia. If anything, it is my ignorance that allows me not to answer.
it's all right. She looks at you. I trust you, Reyna, and your compatriots. I believe this wouldn't be a true act of the Knights of Solamnia, as much as the people of Kalaman do sometimes detest. Do not think actual knights would have done this act. Lord Soth is a name known to me. An ancient knight, something about the cataclysm. Are we sure that this Caradoc was serving some ancient lord?
Quite.
He boasted
He was
of
quite
it.
explicit in his mentioning of it, yes.
Boasted of it. Did they mention anything we can use about the dragon army? Next moves, locations, numbers, anything to help us in this war?
Do you know anything about the City of the Lost Names?
No. No, I don't. Do you know where it is, perhaps?
North, I believe, but its exact location is unknown. Do you know anybody who might be able to assist us in its location?
Perhaps. Yes, north of us, across the river, is the northern wastes. It's nothing but deadly wasteland. If they're heading there, I mean, they must not be a further threat. Interesting.
Then there's something there. Otherwise, they would not be headed in that direction.
Deadly Wasteland sounds like a good place to hide, if you can survive it. Perhaps some form of command or something valuable to them.
She nods. Perhaps. You hear the sound of clanking metal behind you, and Darrett, in his full Solamnic armor, would kind of come to the door, looking. Seems that I'm a little late. Morning. If we can call it that. He'll sidle up, passing through, gives a firm squeeze on Svartal's shoulder, and moves to the side of the desk of Marshal Vendry. Now, is everyone caught up then? Good, all right. Marshal, what do you think? Vendry, if they're gone to the northern wastes, then I don't think they present much harm to us, damn it. He shakes his head. No, I've been doing some research last night. I went to the library and did some digging. Had some help at the time. Those that didn't want to help clean up the bodies. The City of Lost Names. I think I've found what it is. An ancient city before the cataclysm. It seems that there are rumors, stories that it's crash-landed into the northern wastes. Vendry looks. You mean crash-landed? Like it was flying? Yes. Yes, it seems it was some form of flying city. And now, I don't think we should force all of our troops to take this on, but I do think it would be wise for us to send a contingent to, well, at least harry the dragon army there. We shouldn't let them get what they want for free, in any case. It will always turn out poorly for us. He'll rub at the still pink scar around his neck. Right. Well, heroes of Vogler, what do you think? Should we focus on the defense of Kalamon here, ousting the remaining portions of the dragon army, or chase what seems to be a retreating force?
I mean, there's still people at risk here, right? Might as well take care of our problems at home before we go afield.
That is my thinking exactly.
I have to agree.
The more rest we get is the better, because we're still above table exhausted, so yeah.
I want to kill things.
Oh, there are plenty of battles to fight here, Svartal, if defense of Kalamon is what you really want to do. Darrett looks at the group, and you can tell he's disappointed. All right, if that seems to be the case, then we will figure it out. I still think that a few hundred soldiers can be spared to stop whatever they're trying to do.
But do you think that a few hundred soldiers dead would be worth it?
If it prevents whatever they are trying to do, Ravenna, then yes. Yes, it is.
I understand where your heart is, and it is in the right place.
But who would lead these soldiers in your plan?
He looks over at Vendry, and then I would.
Well, at least you're leading by example, I suppose.
He sighs. I will consider this. See if I cannot draw up an adequate plan that will fit both Marshal Vendry's desire for Kalamon's defense and perhaps a force move forward.
As much as as much as I would love to join you in that fight, we've been laid low. And
yes, the loss of Rique is not lightly taken. But the war continues. People continue to die. Not just your friends, my friends. People of Kalamon, the military, the armies, the villages around. More places like Vogler, It's not over.
We never said it was over, nor was that my insinuation. However, though people are dying, yes, the war does continue, but it is important for everyone to at least find a sliver of a moment in between the fighting to at least mourn, even just a little. Because if you just keep fighting, you're running away from it. And the burden only gets worse.
It's an interesting counterpoint of words to what Ravenna is saying in all of her actions this morning, which all seem to be a direct avoidance for things like mourning. Darrett
Yeah,
nods.
Talnor is standing there like, like, did I say that or did she say that? Like, what's happening?
Darrett sighs, nods, and
I'm glad people are paying attention.
right. He was my friend too. Have there been arrangements made for a funeral?
We're having the body preserved at the moment, out with the villagers outside of the walls. We had planned on getting a couple of people that knew Rique as well to come pay their respects before we buried him, but unfortunately they've gone missing. So
There's also a practical component to the issue. Rique was a formidable combatant, arguably the most formidable between all of us. Any form of harrying or anything, really, will be at great loss without him there, and we're certainly not the fighting force we once were.
He nods. Marshal Vendry just seems content to listen. Well, then it sounds like we have things before us. Do we know anything about that, Tatina? Any inroads been made? I have not gotten any reports from the scouts.
If they were taken, it's possible that they were taken north as well. Shoot.
He nods.
This does somewhat change things on my vote.
Yes.
With them there, she looks to the group. They think of what they could do. The things that they could create for them. We have no idea what's waiting for them.
All I know is that it is an ancient city of lost magic. And, we've both seen the creations that Van and Tatina can throw together. Put in some pre-cataclysmic machinations and... Well, I as much as I admire both of them for their intelligence and ingenuity, I don't think they'll be able to hold out if they are asked to build weapons of war.
Looking again to the group, kind of like a look of desperation in her eyes. I think Rique would want us to go save them. That is where they are.
You might need the help of my new friends for this. A city of old lost magic sounds incredibly dangerous, and they might know something about it.
Marshall will nod.
Ravenna kind of like squints at him and goes, "You have comrades?"
Yes.
What are we? Like looking a little hurt at Talonor, like,
Well,
She kind of tilts her head.
I didn't say
and
my
she
only
goes-
friends.
She kind of tilts her head and goes, "You
Hello.
Have comrades. Besides-
Sort of not necessarily by my own choosing, but yes, they've been quite insistent.
Ah, there it is. All
However,
right.
they did give me a. Oh, I suppose I should
And
put
she
this
just-
on. I'll
she just
pop
nods.
the insignia on my robe. Look.
Marshal Vendry's eyes will, she'll widen a little bit and eyebrows go up. Derek will nod and he'll give you a big clasp on the shoulders. Congratulations.
Ravenna and Svartal
bit
would not
hasty.
have any idea what this.
What that means? No.
Yeah, she looks and she goes.
Cool, bro.
She just looks. She just kind of does. She does the John Travolta thing, pretty much of like.
It could be a
Svartal kinda
plastic
knows
sheriff
about.
badge.
Yeah.
That's what it is. yeah.
Deputy.
I'm a deputy.
Svartal
That is
kind of
a-
knows about his friends, though. He's like,
Yeah,
he would
he's
he
met
would kind
one,
of
He knows exactly what's
Yeah.
going on.
he would kind of
Svartal's
remind
putting it together.
Ravenna has met Wyan too separately,
Yeah.
so or with me. So I think Svartal would kind of, in very few words, remind her of, remember Bird Lady?
Ah.
That's his
oh,
friend.
She goes. Yes. I see, friend.
The marshal
It
looks
is-
full-fledged mage, or
I think the word provisional was mentioned, but
she nods. Yes, if the mages do have anything to offer here, knowledge or otherwise, we can use as much as we can get. She looks at Reyna. If Than and Tatina have been taken northwards, I do think it is of priority for us to locate and rescue, or, barring that, remove them. As much as
Literal
I...
chill went down Reyna's spine and like pale face, like, we will not be doing that. But thank you.
You are currently employed by and under orders by the Kalamon military, which is me. You have agreed to this by proxy of Derek. Do you understand the scope? If they are allowed to complete any single one of the projects, like the story you gave me from Vogler, what that will mean for Kalamon and the other forces. They cannot be allowed to build these things. Of course, the priority is to save them, extricate them safely, get them back here. But if you cannot, do you understand me?
Taking more of like a position of like salute, like, yes.
She'll nod.
Nope. I will not hurt another. I will not hurt another friend.
they can't order me what to do, so we'll see.
This is actually some post-traumatic stress going on with Smartle after he had just beat the crap out of his friends. So he adamantly denies, and I will kill anybody that is holding my friends.
Then I hope and wish you well in that endeavor, Svartal. But she looks back at Reyna. You understand your orders, soldier.
Okay, so above table, Reyna's flat out lying to her superior right now. She does not do
That's
this.
fine.
She's like, yes, I'll follow your orders.
Sure.
But behind her back, she's like, mhm.
Roll that deception check.
So that's why I was like, oh, I gotta
Roll
tell him
it.
because
Roll it. Roll that deception. Oh, that's a 6.
Oh gosh.
Ravenna,
Her eyes twitching.
Ravenna can see that Reyna is. I mean, that and everybody else could probably see that she's lying, and she puts a hand on Reyna's shoulder and looks. We will do as we are ordered.
Jaws like clenched tight, fists clenched even tighter, and she just
We understand the consequences and the risks.
And hopefully it never comes to that.
Reyna nods,
Derek,
as do I.
let's draw up a plan. they are right. Without Rique, their force is less. But I have an idea.
While you draw up plans, may I ask for temporary leave to bury my friend?
Yeah, Derek looks over. I thought we weren't having a funeral yet.
We should at least bury the body.
What about Van and Tatina? Didn't we want to wait? Wasn't that the purpose?
His body will last, I think, 10 days from the spell. Let me double check that.
She looks at Raina and goes, basically, she's gonna say something, but sounds really weird. How long will your magic be able to sustain the body then? The last thing I want is to leave some elderlies with a rotting corpse.
We're at a little over 9 days.
9 days. Fine. Then we need to move quick.
All right, then I will go gather my supplies.
He nods. We'll likely take the rest of the day to muster what we need, should our plans be set. Do what you need to do within the city. Rest if you can. Get some food. Research if you need to. I will send a messenger for you as soon as I can. The marshal will look up at him. She nods. Thank you again for everything. I wish that we were able to keep the governor alive, but well, we move forward.
You should use the governor's office. It's important people see that someone's in charge.
Agreed.
She looks up at both of you and then at Derek, and Derek nods too. Right. I will have some aides move my things. I think you have the right of it. It felt disrespectful, but in times of conflict, there needs to be a clear leader.
Yes. Good.
Thank you for your time and effort. And I again apologize for your loss, the loss of a friend. Let's try to save the other ones.
Yes.
And you are dismissed out into the hallway, where Derek and Marshal Vendry, interim governor Vendry, will make plans. What are the things that you would like to accomplish? We're going to mostly montage these things so we can get to the next story beat. But is there anything that you would like to do, see, purchase?
Cry.
Cry?
No. No.
We're not glossing over that one. If we're getting if Ravenna's getting a crying scene.
She's not crying yet.
Yet. Yeah, is there anything that you would need or want to do in Kalamon? I'll pull us out to the bigger map here so you guys can see it. Are you looking for anything in particular? Do you need anything from the quartermaster?
I think I would request Derek to get us funds first before we go shopping. Like, whatever he feels adequate enough to give us, like I'm not joking, like 50 to 100 gold. We're not looking for magic items, but we need enough to, like, get us some stuff.
They'll requisition you 100 gold each.
Woohoo!
Yeah, for whatever you might need. And that is on top of, at the quartermaster here, you have full run of all mundane armors and weapons. Like, you can have whatever of those. If you were looking for specialty items or things like potions, of course that is outside their purview. They don't really have a whole lot of magic stuff.
Good thing I know an apothecary.
Talon, yeah.
Can we go Lions?
Can we go to Wyans? Yeah.
Yeah, I would be going to Wyans. I need to ask her about the city anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Because that's what she's thinking pots.
Oh, and you're all coming with me to mooch off the potions. I don't blame you. I do the same.
We're all going to get potions. Yeah, is anyone staying behind? Anyone doing anything? Or are we all going to Wyans?
Party at Wyans.
Party at Wyans.
As always, Varda would follow Talonor,
Absolutely.
whatever he does.
Wow, not follow the sister.
No, following
No.
Charles, my
Talonor.
boy.
Think about that for a
Mom
second.
said I don't have to watch you today, okay?
No, Mom said I don't have to watch you today.
So we head to Wyans. Wyans Apothecary. We've been to a couple of times here, and actually, if I do this correctly, we'll put everyone in the apothecary for the first time, all together, except for Zeke.
Aw, man.
Didn't have to
I
be said.
know.
He's
Uh,
here.
That didn't have to be
Spirit.
said.
I know.
I just keep carrying Brash Brush around with us, just like you're coming with us,
He's
buddy.
holding you.
He's like just like he looks like one of those little plastic toys.
Just
Aw.
Pixel just laying there like
The flipping
yeah,
dog.
Just like, yeah.
Goodness.
How do we turn him off?
Does he have a battery? Yeah. Wyans Apothecary. It smells of licorice and pepper. It is a modest shop. Has some tables with plants, herbs, good luck charms, and otherwise. And Wyan is there, of course, as usual. Old animal bones and vials advertising various remedies. And she sits behind the desk, and as the door opens, the bell rings, and she looks up and just stares for a moment. Well, I had figured you'd be here earlier, Talonor, but with less company, Svarto. It is good to see you again. Now,
Were
I've
you
seen
meant to
you
meet
two
with?
before?
Were you meant to meet with Talonor privately? I'm sorry, we're not.
Daily.
Please don't
In
answer
fact.
her. She's not
We were
asking
not-
how you mean.
We
Don't
were
answer
not.
her. Don't answer her, Wyan.
We were not abreasted. That
There's been plenty abreast.
Don't answer, Wyan. You're not helping me.
Reyna in the background.
Wyan, you're
Wyan,
making it worse.
Wyan smiles and she says, Talonor is to meet with me nightly for at least an hour.
My God.
Oh, I see. Well,
And he
apologies.
seemingly missed last night, though he was in the city. It's all right. We've already
He-
had a brief conversation. She looks at the badge on your chest.
Conversation.
Glad that you're wearing it openly.
What did you have to do for that? Judges.
Oh, so you? Yes, I see.
Rainer, a message rings in your mind. Shut up. Yes, it came in rather handy today. We were just chatting with the interim governor. And yes, my companions are coming along with me. Well, to be honest, it's to make use of your talents as an apothecary. It seems as though we may be in need of healing supplies, and once they realize that, yes, I was coming here anyway, they've all decided to come along to, well, mooch, I guess would be the blunt way of putting it.
I would expect
He-
no less.
He had touted that he had friends. So,
She doesn't quite understand what the Order of Mages is.
Yes, friends, I think. Isn't that right, Talonor?
Something like that. Acquaintances, really. But yes, I came primarily to ask you of information of somewhere. I figured that you may know of it. It was mentioned to us by one of our recent meetings with something that was trying to kill us, that we need to head to the City of Lost Names. And it's come up that this is a pre-cataclysmic magical area of some sort.
Interesting. After our conversation, Eleanor, I did descend into the catacombs to see if I could have the visions for myself. Your claims of cataclysmic flame and visions from beyond did not reach me. It seems, unfortunately, I am less special than you are.
Could it be to do with the fact that at the end of the catacombs we were attacked by some sort of necromantic guardian, a knight wreathed in
Solomir.
the flames?
Indeed,
There we
his
go.
body still lay on the dais where it seems
Could he have
you
been
slain.
maintaining the visions of some sort?
Perhaps. I think it has more to do with the cataclysmic fire. I've been doing some research in the meantime on Lord Soth and Lord Solomir and ancient orders of the Knights of the Rose, and she looks at Reyna. Yes, City of Lost Names. I may have something on that. Hold for a moment. And she'll get up and she goes to the back room, obviously going through her books to see if she can't find anything that happens to do with this. She returns after a time with a large, dusty tome. Well, pre-cataclysmic histories are rare these days. Let's see if we can't find something. Now, City of Lost Names. We do have some things on that out in the northern wastes, it seems. Oddly coincidental. She looks at you, Talinor, looks back down at the book. It seems that many of our threads are weaving together northwards. The city is rumored to be deep within the wastes, but it has another name. Onyari was its name before the fall. And I know its last guardian. You were going to visit her. One of the only people still in this world that is willing to go against the Order of the Mages to help with specific things. Yes. Yes. And you see, like, the gears are turning behind it. She's formulating some form of plan. You will go. Yes. This will work. The City of Lost Names, Onyari, is, for all intents and purposes, an undead city. Magic still locked behind ancient walls, and single guardian of the Order of the Mages remaining. One of the first. Old enough to have been there when the cataclysm occurred. You're going there. Yes. You will go. You will meet with her. And you will take your test.
But you said she goes against the order. How can she do the
not
test?
Against. In spite of?
Doesn't quite follow the rules.
High Mage Demolin. Again, one of the oldest in the Order. A mage before the Cataclysm. One of the few that the Order of the Mages will allow some leeway. Should Demolin find you worthy enough to take the test, as I think you are, they will accept her judgment.
Why? I worry I already know the answer from things I've read that I probably shouldn't have, but how is Demolin still here?
She smiles. Demolin
Right,
is an
so
elf,
that's all the answer I need.
first of all. And your kind have extraordinarily long lives, especially when as intricately woven into the weave as hers is.
Yes, I mean, pre-cataclysm is a long time, though.
Long time. The oldest elves live thousands of years, however. Most of them, though, that would have been that age would have died during the cataclysm. One of the few that remains.
Yes, I've never met any that old. Okay.
Demolin may
Very
also
well.
be one of the only people alive that has known Lord Soth. Be able to provide more information. Perhaps as to how and why he's still kicking around. So, I think that's it. I will send a message to Demolin. We will get these things prepared. There is an old gate. It should allow us to transport you there swiftly, yes. We can have you there tomorrow.
Oh, good. Wyan, clearly you are a mage of some repute. And I know that you're retired, and I know what order you were in as well. But the city is under attack, and the world burns. Why are you sat in an apothecary?
My time will come, Talonor. I have cast the bones, looked into a brief future. And what I know is that our future here, and the future of Krynn, lies squarely on you and your friends. Unfortunately, everything that I must do must be to push you forward, to claim that destiny. Because it is only a possibility. If you do not go get it yourself, if you do not grow in power and understanding, all of you, Calaman's the first step. A lot of stepping stones to the domination of Krynn. We have an opportunity. Stop it here. Waylay it here. As long as you all rise to the occasion. So, my assistance in that will be as such. Healing potions for your journey, access to Demolin, I hope she is amenable to this plan, access to the City of Lost Names. Before anyone would even know that you're there. An element of surprise. A way ahead of the dragon army that has always seemed 3 steps ahead of us. My one contingent to this, Talonor, is that you take the test. Will you do it? Prove yourself to Demolin. Take the test.
Yes. Why do you care so much about me taking the test? I'll do it, but I'm just curious.
Your type of magic has not been seen since before the Cataclysm. It is necessary for you to join the Order of Mages so that your magic may flourish and perhaps be learned, utilized by other mages of the future. It is not something we should lose again.
Okay.
You can roll insight here.
Ooh. What are you up to, YNA? That's the question. 16.
16 is pretty good. Let's see how Wyan's poker face
Wine's
is
what,
today.
Joel? Wine's what? What's wine rolling? Hey, you chief.
Yeah, right? Oh, what is it gonna be? Yeah. You've got her pretty pegged here. There's something more to this. It does happen to do with your ability to utilize this moon sorcery. For sure. But the reasons behind it are perhaps beyond what she says. There's truth there.
I'm looking at her in the face, and I'm just glancing at, like, the black feathers on her robe, and then back in her face, I'm like the shifty dog from The Simpsons. Like, like, yes, I'll do the test, of course, but...
Good. And don't die. Plenty of would-be mages have died during that test.
Know me, that's always high on my list.
Yes. Right. Well, now that that is out of the way, what may an apothecary do for you?
The moment, for the record, the moment we walked in, Svartal said hey to Wyan and has just, like, this is the only place where Svartal turns into a child in like a toy store.
He's been running around.
He's running around, sniffing the plants, feeling the dirt, going around. He's not listening, kind of, but he's running around, smelling all the things. Yeah.
Ravenna probably heard a couple of words that were coming out of their discussion, and it just went, woo. whoosh.
Way over.
And then she's just like, it went whoosh, and she fall with it. She's like, oh, wow, look, oh, let's go over here. This has nothing to do with me. I have no idea what they're talking about.
Raina, you said you had a question?
Yeah, for Wyan.
Yeah, okay.
Wyan, it just, given everything that's happened the past few days, a few words that you said really struck a chord with me. You said that they always seem to be 3 steps ahead of us. Did you mean to say that coincidentally, or?
No. What happened at Steel Springs? Their ability to rout our forces so easily? Moving to an ancient city of lost names? If you had not seen the visions in the fire, learned the names from the undead knight Sarlemir, we would still be just in the dark about their plans as we were before. This gives us a chance. I can get you there faster.
Okay, I only asked that because something doesn't feel right. When you said that, it was as if, and again, maybe it's just my overthinking, that we have a traitor in our midst.
She looks at you somewhat appraisingly. Huh. Perhaps. War is complicated. Plenty of people will sacrifice their morals for a chance at power, survival. She looks at Talinor. Or to save their family. She looks over at Svartal. Maybe there is. But I am not aware of one. Just the results, which speak to me as either their intelligence is better than ours, or we just need to be faster.
All right. That's that then. And then kind of just begins filling her bag with various potions that
Yeah,
Ryan is
so
putting out.
that's the thing here. So what do we want out of the things that she does have?
Health.
You would be able to acquire the following. You would get 6 regular healing potions, 2 greater healing potions.
Each?
No, this is total.
Oh, almost.
This is total. And then, something like a specialty potion of some kind. This would be like a resistance potion of like fire, lightning, psychic force, or something like that. Just a resistance potion, if you are looking for one, or some kind of buff potion, like a potion of giant strength, a potion of fire breathing, something along those lines. She does have various poisons as well, but you would get the health potions, and then each of you get like one of these other buff potions, because that's what she has. Most of everything else that she has is very herbal based. She doesn't have a whole lot of things on hand, and most of her potions are going directly to the Kalamon military.
One fire breathing potion, please.
One fire breathing potion. Hell yeah. So in your sheet, Svartal. Yeah, in your sheet, Svartal just put potion of fire breathing. Yeah, for sure. So there's potion of fire breathing, potion of growth. Yeah, you wanted a potion of fire resistance? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Potion of hill giant strength, potion of water breathing.
Potion of freaking psychic resistance or whatnot.
You want a potion of psychic resistance?
Yes.
Okay, sure. Write that down.
I'm going old school, Joel.
Yeah.
Going in the archives. Wine's a mage and an apothecary. Does she have a potion of maximum power?
Oh my god.
Remember that one? I think it's like 2nd edition. It just means it's like 4th or 5th level spell or below. When you drink it, the next spell you do that's like of a certain rank or below just automatically deals its max damage.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's fun.
A viscous purple liquid a spellcaster can drink in order to maximize the damage of the spell.
It's Robitussin?
Yeah, it's Robitussin, but like... So, the first damage dealing spell, it says it does specify of level 4 or lower.
Yeah, it's not like you can't like
within the
meteor
next
storm
minute.
with it and stuff.
Yeah, I think she would you would ask that, and she'd.
Yes.
There are
Yes. Give me one.
consequences to this. You know that, right?
Is there?
Don't burn yourself out. And she'll hand you
Oh.
the vial.
Yes, don't worry. Let's be honest, Wyan. On my list of current possible consequences and worries, come on, it's not that bad, really. You've got to have some perspective, haven't you?
Don't worry, Wyan. We will make sure that he is back.
A
one
full-fledged
piece.
mage.
For you.
Good answer.
Is this a
Yes.
dead or alive kind of thing? I'm just kidding.
Preferably alive, but yes, understandable. Now, you have your things. Get some rest. I will make contact with Demolin. You go there tomorrow. Understood?
Before leaving, this is like an on the way out the door type thing. Svartal's like, oh yeah, there's things that he needs to remember to do. He takes his cloak that he's wearing. He tries to pull it off. And it's really tight, and you know how kids just have a hard time pulling it off. He can't really pull it off. So he just kind of looks at Wine and is like, do you know what this is?
Yes.
And he points to the cloak of leaves.
Yeah. That's a Kanganesti forest shroud. Just as a note, I thought you might know what it was.
I don't know what it is.
Svartal. She gestures for you to come over. You don't need to remove it. You need to attune to it. Have you ever done that before?
Attune?
Indeed. You need to channel a bit of the weave, a piece of the magical bit of yourself, into the
notice for
cloak.
the first time in like days, Talon's just standing there grinning at listening to Wyan explaining and tuning to
Yeah,
Svartal.
explaining magic to Svartal.
I'm having such a great time.
Now,
Yeah.
this here is a rather powerful item for yourself. I want you to close your eyes. Imagine walking through the forests of your home. How it felt.
Whoosh! Oh, there's a shiny thing. I'm gonna go over there.
How it felt. The sounds you heard. What you were hunting for. Imagine yourself silent, crouching behind the brush, drawing your weapon, sighting the animal, striking. Svartal, roll me an Arcana check.
Yes.
This is a -2
Yeah,
on an
it's
8. As you're
Could
watching,
not help
Talonor,
it.
you see this, and you see, like, evidence of the weave around him, right? Like, you look at it, and you see, like, this kind of mist forming. It's like, he's trying. He's
Can I
getting
like
it.
subtly try to correct it without
Yeah.
him
Do you
noticing?
want to?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. You want to
I'm not gonna
go
let Svartal
help
He's
blow
like,
him.
this is
himself up.
painful. This
Yeah.
is too painful to watch.
You go help him. How do you do so? What do you do?
I would just be like, interacting with the weave essentially to
Yeah,
try
and guide
calm
it.
and get it to
Mhm.
accept him, essentially.
You feel this kind of calmness wash over you, sort of this comfortability, and you can imagine it feels significant. It feels real, like the strike against the animal back at home, the kill that you will have, the hunt completes, the food that you can feed your family and your tribe. The cloak feels comfortable on your body. Talonor having helped push the weave through the item itself, you are attuned to it. Kanganesti forest shroud, made of autumnal leaves woven together. While you wear it, you have an advantage on stealth checks. You can use a bonus action to magically teleport, along with any equipment you are wearing or carrying, to an unoccupied space within 30 feet. And then you have advantage on the next attack roll you make before the next
Oh my
turn.
god, we have deep strike, Svartal.
Yeah.
Yes.
It can only be used once a day, that feature itself. The stealth, every time. But that teleport, to either get in or get out, can be used once a day. And Wyan looks appreciatively over at Talonor and nods. You're going to make a very good teacher. Svartal, you may open your eyes. It should fit a little better now. And it does. Magical items of this nature, once attuned to, grow to fit the size and comfortability of the creature wearing them. Feels like a second skin.
He relaxes his shoulders because it has been scrunched
Very
the
tight.
whole time.
Yeah, it's been very tight. Yeah. Yeah, you now have full access to the forest shroud. Now, anything else? I suggest you all get some rest. You look like hell. And you'll head out in the morning. Okay. We're going to do a quick break and a quick jump to the things for tomorrow. When we come back from our break here, the party heads north. The barren wastelands. Thanks for joining us.
Yay!
Be right back.
Road trip!
Welcome back. Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen. Our party, for you all at home and for everyone here, you do get another day of rest. So what happens in the interim amount of time is that Darrett and Marshal Vendry come to a plan. Marshal Vendry has agreed to send Darrett and yourselves at this point in time to the Northern Waste to investigate the Dragon Army's agenda there. Darrett is given command of about 300 soldiers. To avoid drawing the attention of the Dragon Army, Vendry has ordered a few ships to ferry the troops across Kalaman Bay in the early morning hours. A secluded cove called Wrecker's Edge lies at the southeastern shore of the wastes. This is where you will disembark. From there, yourselves and Darrett's troops are to discover the Dragon Army's plot, thwart it, and then return to the ships as quickly as possible. That being said, you all have some other things that you're going to do. It is up to you on whether or not you want to clue Darrett into this secondary event, this whole Wyan thing, or if you're going to leave him in the actual dark and just go.
Darrett's always been good to us, right?
I can't remember a single time he hasn't been.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, he good boy. He goodest boy.
I think even if there was some suspicion to have, as Sparta wouldn't be smart enough to figure out that he's suspicious. So he wouldn't
Well, if
say.
we're discussing it beforehand.
Yeah,
I
he
would
wouldn't say
say-
anything, but he would be like, "Oh, whatever, sure."
I would say, now we all know we can trust Darrett. I'm not calling that into question, but one thing to bear in mind is that from things Wyan said, I think this person that we're going to see, this High Mage Demolin, is immensely powerful and seems to be content to make her home somewhere, remote, let's put it that way. Darrett does now hold a position of some responsibility in Calaman's military, essentially. It might be for the best if they aren't too aware of Demolin and don't seek to, exert any influence or interfere.
So,
I get the impression she may be somebody you don't really want to frustrate.
so what you're saying is you will do most of the talking.
To whom?
In general.
Talk to whom?
In
Just
general?
Just, I will
just
talk
forever.
a lot
Because
in
I feel,
my life.
Talonor, I feel as though you have more of a silver tongue than I do and the rest of the group here. So I feel like you are very versed in politics and all that
BSing.
sort, whereas I am more versed in, well,
Hitting
fighting.
things really hard.
Yes, that too, but
Yes, I think it's very kind of you to say. I think you've got a point, but I'm sorry. I'm just specifically wondering who are you worried about talking to, Demolin?
Yes, the one that you are supposed to do a test for.
Yes, that's High Mage Demolin, Wyatt mentioned to us. Yes, I think it may be for the best, although I'm sure she will be most curious as to you all as well. What I would say is, if this really is as powerful a sorcerer as I'm envisioning, it may be best to not try any trickery or deceit with them. I'm not saying that any of us are akin to that,
Which
but
is why
we do
I suggest
occasionally
that
bend the
you
truth.
do the talking, because if anyone here is to do any sort of trickery with words and magic of the sort, that would be you.
Yes, I know, I agree, but I'm just saying I would be ready because she may be curious as to whom I've brought to her door, if you like.
Then we will just say that we are your comrades.
Aren't
That
we
works.
discussing on whether or not we're telling Darrett about her?
Yeah, that was the
Yes,
well,
originally
that
I was
my
talking about... No,
question.
I think Ravenna raises a good point, though. I think it's good to be careful in general. However, yes, my original point was that I'm not too sure about telling Darrett simply because I don't want him to get tangled up in something that may be incredibly dangerous. I mean, you should all be aware there is a solid chance that I die in this test.
I mean, not on purpose, I would hope. Or
Depends
assume.
how much you annoy me. Ravenna. No, not on purpose, of course.
I mean, you seem quite valuable to Waylon. Anyways.
I do feel
Yes,
like if
that
Talonor
was
is
nearly
going to
a
die, it's
compliment.
going to be on purpose, though.
Yeah,
Well,
probably.
Startle, you know me. I like to have the last word. But yes, I'm just saying it may be immensely dangerous, and we may not wish to get Darrett or Callum, and by extension, at risk from such an individual.
Then we will let you explain it to Darrett.
Darrett, we're popping out for milk and cigarettes. Back in.
Oh no. Oh no.
So, when the call for the military, this detachment that is going north, be an early morning, right? You guys would get your long rest because you're exhausted, you go to bed early, whatever, but you would be called before the sun would go up, the 2 a.m. mark, and that is when you would be shipped out. Now, do you have a conversation with Darrett before?
I will
During-
talk to Darrett.
You will talk to Darrett. Okay.
Yes.
So in
When
the
he is-
early
when I can
evening-
grab him, essentially.
Absolutely. So like during the plannings and things like that, he would likely come to tell you all about the plan and make sure that you are prepared, right? So he'd likely meet you in your chambers to keep it casual and relaxed for you all and make sure that you're still resting. Yeah, and he'd sit down at the table, place his helm there, and look across. And right, so plan is we head to Rique's Edge early this coming morning. We get 300 people, 300 soldiers. I asked for more, but honestly, it's good. It will help us, I think, travel across the wastes and hopefully make a dent in whatever the plan is here, and find Van and Tatina. He's looking around.
That's good. Darrett, I do have something I wish to talk to you about beforehand. It is somewhat uncomfortable, but
Brother, help me pack our things.
yes, help Ravenna. No.
What things?
help me organize my quiver and my
Yeah, you
javelins.
move off to be
Okay.
away from the conversation, right?
All right.
That's fine.
Darrett, I've been trying to think of how to address this with you, and it's most difficult. So I've decided what to do instead is to take the direct route. Whilst we travel north, we are, of course, dedicated to helping you with the goal, the primary goal, if you like, which is to ascertain the Dragon Army's intentions, or whatever they may be doing in the north. There is something else that myself and most likely my friends here have to attend to there. Now, I was trying to think of how to do it without raising suspicion or alarm, and I realized that I don't want to lie to you. I think that we've already, in the short time we've known each other, been through quite a lot of shit, to be blunt, and I respect you too much to deceive you. So what I'm going to do instead is simply ask that you trust me, that it's something that I can't tell you about, but it is for the best.
All right.
It may mean that we have to take a short leave of absence once we arrive. But it really shouldn't take too long. I'm envisioning it may be a day away, we'll say.
Okay, sure. Yes, I loath to lose some of our most powerful soldiers, but can you tell me
Hopefully we
what
return
it's for?
slightly better. It's to do with my acceptance into the Order of High Sorcery, if you like.
Oh,
It's something that I must do there. And once I have, I shall be fully accepted, and that in itself may actually aid us quite a lot in what's to come down the line.
of course. Yes, and this is a thing you do not travel to alone? You will go with...
No, I think I shall take my companions just because I don't know the lands we're traveling to, and even for getting there and back, they may provide quite vital assistance in staying alive.
You've never really been under my orders, Talonor.
I know, but I trust you, and I wish to keep you informed rather than have us slip out in the middle of the night.
I appreciate that. Will you be traveling with us by boat or another way?
We were offered an alternative. I'm not entirely sure how it works, but
I
yes,
understand.
I think that's something to discuss with our group, but I believe that the intent was for us to take the quicker route, and actually that may mean that we're ready to simply meet up with you when you arrive. How long is the boat journey again?
It shouldn't take us very long. A day, perhaps. Wrecker's Edge is out on the edge, and he'll pull out a map here to show you Kalamon region and north, which is going to be the wastelands. So Kalamon, being here in the Kalamon Bay. Wrecker's Edge is up here. About a day and a half of sailing away.
And I have no idea where we're really going.
You have no idea. His map, of course, does not specifically say, the city of lost names, right? Most of these...
I suppose that we shall actually sail with you. Unless... I can't remember, did Wyan say that she would have any arrangements for us?
Yes, she was making
arrangements.
arrangements.
Okay, in that case, I have misspoken very recently. We shall take the alternative.
Sure.
Simply to draw less attention. In fact, if anything, our faces have been seen by the Dragon Army a few times. It may help even draw less attention to you all if we are not with you.
He nods. Yes, it will hurt to not have you there, but Cudgel and her forces, Jayev, have volunteered to come up with me too, so at least they will have some familiar faces. It would be good to have
if I may make a
there.
suggestion, members of our group have been concerned about potentially, to be blunt, traitors in our midst. It may serve you to do something to obfuscate your plan, be it decoy ships or
We did say the ring
publicize
of truth
a false landing spot, or
Yes.
I can see Ravenna excitedly dancing behind you while packing, so I assume she has something to say.
Ring of truth, ring of truth, ring of truth.
Yeah. So, that's something that's available or was available to the governor through one of their mages. Not necessarily a widely accessible thing, especially for 300 people heading out in a few hours' time.
Everybody walk through the circle. Come on,
Walk through my
orderly line.
zone.
Yeah.
Wait. All right.
But
Or you come here.
He
Right.
nods and he lets you know that the precautions have been taken. That this is to be a secretive strike force. There are decoy ships already prepared. So
Good.
they will be
I'm glad there's
attempting
at
to
least
travel
one
as
more sneaky
secretly as
fucker around,
possible.
Barrett.
What was that?
I said, I'm glad there's at least one more sneaky fucker amongst us. Well done.
Yeah, he looks at you and says, Steel Springs will never happen again while I have command.
Good. I should hope not. Well, we shall take our alternative arrangements then, and we shall find you there. We know where you're landing.
Yes.
Do you know, and I'll point at the map, I was like, do you have an initial plan, or is it
Yes,
simply
our
scouting from
route shall take us northwards along the coast. We'll need to cross the first chasm and find ourselves down towards the Drowning Road in Storm Step. Hopefully by that time our scouts have found the bulk of the dragon army, or at least where they're going. If we have not found it by then, well, if we don't have enough information by that point, that'll be about 3 days' time. We'll likely have to turn and leave, assist in the defense.
While he's
of Colorado.
explaining this, I'm gonna mark on the map he got out.
Yeah.
Like, the route to the Drowning Road, and I'm gonna say, like, I'm gonna annotate, this will take 3 days. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
and I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna keep this so we can have an estimation of where to find you should we get split up.
Yep. He'll nod. Brought it for you anyways.
Wonderful.
All right. Well, good luck to you then, and all of you. Hopefully I'll see you in the wastes. He'll get up and
Hopefully.
extend a hand to you, Talonor.
I'll shake his hand.
And he'll grab his helm, put it under his arm, and
Coming
exit the
for
room.
coming for a hug.
You coming for a hug? Oh, okay. There's a lot of
She,
metal
like,
clanking because he's still
grabs-
wearing his full
grabs
armor.
His forearm. She grabs his
Yeah.
forearm, and then
Give it a
comes
clasp.
in for a hug.
Yeah. He gives you a squeeze. Good luck. And, well, let's not lose any more friends.
Hmm. Yes.
He'll exit to go prepare for the nighttime journey. We kind of jump from our rest and packing to that there. You guys would likely go down to at least see off these boats at the bay edge. And there with you would be Wyan. 300 soldiers board boats, and double enough boats as a distraction. They move quickly, quietly. You see both Jayev and Cudgel with their forces as well, boarding, and they head out into the bay. Wyan stands quietly next to you all. Well, I think it's time. I've been working all night on something. It's going to get you there quickly. Hopefully, safely. And I have some information for you. She gestures for you to follow her back away from the waters and towards her apothecary. She'd lead you inside. And you see that in the center of the room is a large arcane circle.
Oh, not another gnome flinger.
Drawn into the ground with chalk
Teleportation circle.
and salt. She looks up and she looks at you, Tom. Yes, a teleportation circle. Fortunately, I was able to contact Demolin last night magically. I have the address. It's going to lead you to a similar location out far north, the northern maze. You will be met there by Demolin's assistant, a person named Vellum. I'm not sure who you're looking for, but that they should be there. They will guide you to Demolin's quarters. Demolin has also told me that there is a test, not just for you, Talonor, for your compatriots. She says she will not allow anyone into the City of Lost Names lightly. She looks at the group as a whole. Pass the test, prove your worth, and gain access to the city. It's the only way forward. You have any other questions?
Wait, so the undead guy was heading towards the City of Lost Names, right?
Yes.
Well, we gotta take a test. This is over the table, but we gotta take a test to get
Indeed.
in. Okay. Okay.
She
So
gestures.
we don't have to take a test.
Yeah, you do.
Just
That was what she
wait.
just said.
Oh, I thought
We all
never
do.
mind.
That is
Damn.
as a
Yeah.
group. as a
missed
group
that
to
part.
prove your worth to allow access to the city of lost names.
Yeah, because she's like, I
I
ain't
thought we were
letting
just
no
gonna-
one
She's
in.
the final defender.
Yeah, she's like, I ain't letting no one in here.
There's
but we're like,
two-
but you literally just
There
did.
are two. One is Talinor's test for the mages. The second is access to the city of lost names.
Okay.
That's it. That's the whole thing. You're meeting a person there named Vellum. Great. She gestures to the circle there. Well, I will begin the incantation, and if you've never teleported before, it can be quite jarring. Those of you with weaker stomachs, perhaps you should empty them now. Anything else?
She shrugs, gets into the circle.
Reyna will actually pull out like a little pouch, like a little potpourri pouch, and just stick it to her nose immediately.
It's like, all right, here we go. Wyan begins the incantation. The teleportation spell builds around you in blue crackling energy. You are whisked away somewhere far to the north, tumbling through the arcane portal and spilling out onto dry ground. The wind whistles around you. I do need everyone to make me Constitution saving throws from the event. Nice.
Potpourri bag for the win.
Yeah, right.
It's a 9.
In the darkness, being deposited as far north as you have been, out into the wastes, the winds still continue. Svartal, Talinor, you feel your stomachs have like flipped over upside down as you get deposited out here, unceremoniously onto the ground. Feel woozy, sick. But okay. You look around. The thing that you've fallen out of is an archway made of this crumbling stone. Talinor, you can see some arcanic runes arched around it. It's empty otherwise. There's no other structure anywhere near it. Love perception checks from the group.
5.
Nice. Nice.
Ooh.
Even without the disadvantages and exhaustions, we have a 5, 2 nat 1s at 4 and 3, and Svartal is the only one. Svartal, perhaps
I'm
as you
dizzy.
rub your stomach and look up, you see someone. Person. Very short person. Standing off a bit to the side. Vellum, who do we see there? Can we get a physical description of your character, please?
Sure. So Vellum is a kender. He stands just about 3.5 feet tall. And he'd be squatting on the ground, kind of squinting towards all of you as you've just kind of stepped through this portal. But he has tanned, almost sunburnt skin. His hair is jet black and tied into a loose bun. There's a very large crossbow strapped across his back, as well as 2 short scimitars hanging at his waist. But you can see across his clothing, there's numerous animal bones and small feathers and twigs and leaves tied within the clothing. The clothing itself is a long, flowing brown robe with a light blue sash tied around the waist. But his face is often split into a wide beaming smile, and his eyes actively dart between yourselves and the horizon. And I suppose, as you've all just kind of appeared before me, would say,
Yeah.
well, not the smoothest entrance I've ever seen.
Godfrey? Oh my god.
One
Oh.
moment.
Yes.
Tiny person.
Well, that's me, yep. I assume one of you might be Talinor.
Yes, that would be me. Sorry, I'd heard teleportation was rough, but my goodness.
I was fine
Well,
until I opened my eyes.
Well, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Vellum, Vellum Moonplucker. Demolim sent me out to find you all. Something about the path of the measured you'll be taking on.
That sounds about right.
Moonplucker. Isn't that your name, Talinor?
Something like that.
No,
Is it
he's
really?
Sparkle
Are you,
hands.
do you have Kender ancestry, Talinor?
No, my companions are just idiots. I apologize.
We are not idiots. We just merely jest. He can do stuff with the moon with his hands.
Oh,
Quite
really?
extraordinary.
I take ambush to that.
Jennifer just looks at Svartle like, huh?
Huh?
Well, I'm not too sure who the rest of you are. Like I said, I'm Vellum. Can I not too keen on manners? I mean, even out here in the wastes.
Sorry, some of us are a bit disoriented and not used to travel via magic and whatnot. I am Ravenna, and this is my brother, Svartle. We are
Svartle,
great
see.
warriors.
you're too small to hurt me. I'm not afraid of you.
Now,
I'm not
brother,
so sure
what
about
have we
that.
said? Brother, what have we said? Do not underestimate the enemy, for they may be more
I
formidable.
have to know what that means to understand it.
That means don't just.
Don't look down on him. No pun intended.
You treat
How
him
else
with
am I
respect.
supposed to look?
No, we must treat him with respect.
I respect him.
apologize.
I'm just not afraid. That's it. I just hello.
My brother
Hello.
speaks his mind.
Big, huge, meaty hand waving.
In fact,
Sure,
we are-
I appreciate it. Yeah, that's great.
Excellent. Already off to a great start.
I suppose Raina will extend a hand forward, kind of like handshake.
Oh,
Raina.
a warrior's grasp. Ah, interesting. Well, it's nice to meet you.
Yours is, yeah, Svartle. Don't underestimate him.
What's that on your back?
It's my crossbow.
Ah,
Is that a
a
warrior's
ranged
weapon?
warrior.
Well,
It is.
Yeah, I mean, I would say so.
Okay.
My brother and I prefer to, well, my brother, I should say. I have since been taking up practice with such ranged weaponry. But my brother, he prefers head-on.
Oh,
Like
I can throw
see.
stuff.
Well, I would say I'm versed in a few different fields of combat, but I do prefer to fight at range, as I do break easily.
Ah, yes, your smaller, your stature would be very,
Ravenna, do you
prone to
remember
breaking.
about 12 hours ago when we spoke about me doing most of the talking?
Talinor. She puts
But
her
he's so
hand on
tiny.
his shoulder. She puts her hand on her shoulder, or on his shoulder. I am not great at. What is the word when? I am
You
not
can say
great
it's small
with-
talk. I
with-
won't take
I
offense.
am
It's
not
fine.
great with. I am not great with political or verbal recovery.
I'll put my hand back on her shoulder and be like, I'm starting to understand that you don't really understand what politics means, but yes. Yes, hello, Vellum. It's nice to meet you. Sorry for our somewhat disheveled state.
Well, that's okay.
We were told that you'd have a plan when we arrived.
Plan? I mean, I was just going to lead you to the Path of Memories and
That sounds like a plan.
let you have a go at it. First time I've
Have
ever
a
seen
go.
to try.
Wonderful.
Well, yeah, I mean, it should be fun.
And it actually should be fun. It is dark. But Vellum, on your travel here, you got to see a couple of different things. And it may be interesting for our party to observe them as well, or they may make the decision to avoid them completely. On the way here, out of Demolin's location and out of the Path of Memories, you did see Dragon Army soldiers setting up a camp relatively close by. Now, You don't have to go that direction because you know the back way to getting to the Path of Memories. But should the party be interested in seeing what is there and the forces arrayed, you could take them.
Okay. Well, I guess Vellum will say, now, I don't know how much experience, or if you guys even heard of something called the Dragon Army. They've recently arrived around here in the Northern Waste. I've taken out a couple of their scouts from time to time, but I try to steer clear. But they've set up a camp nearby. Now, I was going to lead you back around and avoiding it, but I'm not sure if you want to take a look, or...
Svartal's demeanor immediately changes, and now he's less like surprised and happy kind of to meet a new person, and now he's angry.
I mean, it would be useful to see a glimpse of them, but Vellum, sorry, where are we? It seems a long way away from where our friends may be arriving.
Where was it, Joel? The Northern Maze.
The Northern Maze.
Yeah. We're kind of in the heart of the Northern Maze, so the name does kind of live up to the reputation, I suppose, in that it's quite easy to get lost. But you're far north in the Northern Waste. The Northern Waste, really, is what we could call it.
Yes, we may be too far out to ascertain too much value from it. I don't know. I mean, I'll just look to the rest of the group. I think, do you think we get this test over with, or do you want to go take a look?
And she kind of like leans in, Talonor. If we go near those dragonkin...
Yes, that's what I'm concerned about.
Yes, I am as well.
I think we should proceed with the test, Vellum. If you could guide us to, I suppose your employer, Demolin?
Oh,
Is that
sure.
the right word?
Employer, master, administrator, I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
Cousin.
Cousin, yeah. I don't know, I'm just, well, she kind of saved me a long time ago, and I don't really see it. I don't know.
So you are indebted to her for life?
Well, I would sort of. I mean, I just not a lot of options for career progression out here. So it's either stick with her or end up in somebody's belly, I suppose.
I see.
Okay. So,
Vellum,
yeah, go ahead.
how inconvenient would it be to scope out the troops before we head on to Ansalon?
I mean, it wouldn't be...
Ravenna goes, to Raina, like,
Well,
and then just...
And under her breath,
and then
she's just like to Ravenna, but only to send a message.
And then she
to
goes,
Derek.
she's just like,
Rena, we might not be in the best
She's
state.
like this to, and then, like, you know, just naughty, like, to...
What's wrong with your
Svartal.
eyes?
I've got sand in them.
You have a point. They should... Never mind. All right, let's go.
Okay. So, we start with proceeding to the back entrance of the Path of Memories. Vellum may be feeling a little bit more comfortable with that anyways. You start that way. It is dark, and you would note that Vellum has these goggles that he wears over his eyes. For those of you that may not have dark vision or whatever, I think everyone else does. Yeah, you would note that it allows Vellum to see in the darkness. I would love perception checks from the group, please, as we make our way.
24.
22.
20. Yeah, 21
7.
for Reyna. 7 for Ravenna. Ravenna's the only one that doesn't get this.
The
As we're
sand
making
is
our
really,
way,
really bad.
as we make our way down into the canyons of the Northern Maze, walkable portions of it, you feel it seems to be a rumbling of the ground. Feels like an earthquake. But Vellum, you know what this is. It's the wash. Flood. You need to get to high ground as quickly as possible.
All right, so I would turn to the group and say, "Oh gods, we might have to take a little break here. If maybe we could just back up a little and seek higher ground. There's about to be, quite a lot of water flowing through this area."
Yep. Survival check from anyone who thinks they would like to find a climbable location here to avoid the incoming flood.
I'm sorry, but I have to point out the fact that Dano.
I know. I could have picked swimming or climbing, and I picked jumping.
I thought you picked climbing.
I thought you
Did
picked,
I
you
don't-
picked climbing.
Did I
You
pick
picked
climbing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you picked climbing.
I don't remember.
That's why I'm sitting there like,
Oh, okay. Great.
hey,
Then I picked climbing. I don't remember.
yeah. Okay, so what are we rolling?
Survival.
I would like to
You're
climb.
finding a path.
Oh, my survival was good
So
too.
12.
Oh my gosh.
13.
I believe that my character is officially cursed to forever roll terribly every
Well, that's-
single time.
That's my first proficient skill that I've rolled well on in a while.
Well, you've been
every
exhausted.
proficient.
It's
That's
yeah.
true.
Vellum 12, Reyna 20, Ravenna 5, Svartal 13, Talonor 6. Reyna, you see the path. It's going to be a bit treacherous and probably a little difficult for those of you without, I don't know, climb speeds. But you turn and you can see rushing down the canyon here is a wall of water. The ascent is going to need to be quick.
How high is it?
It is going to be at least a 50-foot climb.
Oh shit. Okay, that's fun.
So, Svartal, fortunately, you have a climb speed. Is there anything that you would like to do that would assist the rest of the party?
Yes. Can I? Not many people I could throw, but can I?
Don't throw them.
I'm not gonna throw them. Toss me. He would try his best to stay near the middle of the pack no matter what, and then grab the trailing
Sure.
person and try to drag them
Would
up.
you like to perhaps tie each other together so someone can serve as an anchor that has magical claws that they can sink into the sidewalls of the canyon so that if someone should fall, he can hold them there?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do that. All right. So, with Vellum's assistance having done this plenty of times, you basically create a rope chain. Svartal somewhere in the middle to hold everyone should things get a little hairy, and you all begin to climb.
Well, I would say, Joel, I would just go 20 feet up and Misty step to the top.
Okay, you still need to climb the 20 feet.
Yeah, I need to do
I
20
would,
feet. Yeah.
I would.
It's still an athletics check.
Alrighty.
Athletics
go
is
ahead
climbing.
What's it called? I have an explorer's pack. I'd like to take a rope from that,
16.
and I'd like to wrap it around or tie it around a javelin and use that as like an anchoring.
Sure, you can do that. It will destroy
aid?
the javelin.
That's fine. I got wait, how many do I get?
But you
3
can
or
do that
4.
to assist yourself. That's fine. For the rest of you here, I
Yeah.
just need the athletics checks. Even with the little javelin, I still need an athletics
Oh, I
check.
have 6.
boy.
Okay.
Were you
athletics
referring
check.
to- Were you referring to my claw?
Yeah.
Because I'll need to rage for that.
No. Your climb speed, like you.
Oh, there's that.
capable of
That
climbing,
makes sense too.
right?
Mhm.
So 16, 12, 11. Technically, Svartal, you don't need to roll one, but you can in assistance for the rest of the party.
I will always do it for assistance. Yeah.
That is a 9. All right, 9 and 9. Talonor scurries up the wall and then teleports the remaining portion to it, and the rope just falls slack from where he once was. The water comes rushing down and slams the sidewalls here. Most of you have not made it very far up with those particular checks. I need strength saving throws or risk being swept downstream.
If you're within 10 feet of me, add a 1.
Yep, this will be everyone. Everyone's within at least that. So that'll be
So I would
20,
20.
21, 17, 19. Yeah. So each of you, as the water crashes into you here and tries to rush off and down the way, you're all each able to hold through the initial impact, allowing you the time to finish the ascent up to the top. You find yourself on a large plateau, and the water careens down the northern maze.
I gotta stress, I really hate that.
It is a bit inconvenient.
Very.
Do you deal with
do
this
that
a
often?
lot?
I try to avoid this area because of it, but it's certainly not the first, or I'm sure the last time I'll have to do this.
Vellum, you take them as far as you can across the plateau here in the correct direction. As you do so, I think whoever had the highest perception, yeah, you guys had great perceptions before. The party will be able to see, even in the dark, flying shapes off to your west. Draconic flying shapes outlined against the moons and the rising sun. Vellum, you know that's the direction of the camp. Fortunately, you won't have to travel that way, and that's why we're going back down into the maze to avoid being spotted by these creatures. But it's over there.
Having not really understood what the heck, Reyna and Ravenna were talking about, Svartal would at least make note of it. We have to go that way. We must kill them.
I thought you wanted to go the other way.
Brother, we must first do... And she looks at Talonor like...
Yes, we're proceeding with the test first, Svartal. Also, Svartal, I know your lust for vengeance is strong, but it's probably not as strong as everything we can see flying over there, I'm afraid.
I will kill them all. Do not doubt me.
I'm not
I do
doubting
not
that
doubt
you
you,
will, as long
brother.
as you go about it in the sensible way. We need to get them somewhere we can actually fight them rather than getting, sautéed from 2,000 feet.
Agreed.
So,
We shall corner them.
proceed across, and as the flood of the northern maze fades and recedes, you can descend back down to the safety of cover in the canyons. Vellum leads you through the mud and muck that is left behind from the wash itself, and eventually to a small crevice in one of the side walls. Vellum, this is the entrance, the back way to the Path of Memories.
Sure. So I'll turn to the group and say, well, this is it. I'll let you all go first. I'm not really supposed to help, so good luck.
Were you told that you are not allowed to assist?
Sort of, yeah. But I'll be observing and taking notes.
Notes on...
Notes, okay.
Notes. That one died.
Another death. Unworthy!
Underline.
All right, then
Who goes in first?
In we go.
I
I'll
just
lead
wanna
the
know
way,
who-
fuck it, it's my thing.
Is it yeah? All right. Talonor,
Yeah.
you push through. The whipping
I will
winds
follow
from the
right behind.
outside quickly recede and hear kind of it whistling over the entrance there as you push deeper into this crack in the sidewall. Moving forward into it. It's interesting. The passage runs through ancient stone, winding through darkness alive with skittering insects. Hundreds of feet pass. After you pass a large seam in the wall, the rock texture abruptly changes. Ahead, the tunnel stretches on. What would you like to do?
I mean, push forward cautiously, I suppose, is the only answer.
Sure, absolutely. And cautiously, we move.
This is wider than one person, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Like when you've moved through the crevice and you get to this transitioning point where the stone changes and it kind of opens up a little bit here. Have any interest in what that means or the stone changing itself? You can obviously, take a look at that. But if not, we just kind of push forward, much like Talonor said, cautiously.
Is it like dry in here or wet?
It is mostly dry from what you can tell right now. But for you and your kind of like natural instincts here, there is evidence of moisture, right?
Yeah.
Water travels through all open paths. So
yeah, the nature senses are sort of trying to take account of what just happened, and if there is a possible chance of that becoming a problem in an enclosed space.
Yeah, it could. You traveled pretty far though. I did say hundreds of feet, right?
Sure.
And it was through a small opening, so you should have some kind of advanced warning rather than a wall of water. You'll probably be greeted by a slowly rising tide.
That's what I was thinking of, because we're close to the water still.
Mm-hmm. So, Talonor, push in cautiously to the edge here. I'm just gonna move us to keep the dungeoneering a little easier. To split here. One goes northwards, and the other obviously goes to your south and west. Is there anything that you would like to do here?
I mean, I would look to my west and see the water, and I would say, Vellum, is it normal to find water here? I know we saw the rushing flood, but the rest of it's like a barren wasteland. Where's it coming from?
Joel, would I know if this is flood water, if it's normal? Or?
Yeah, it is. The wash comes from the ocean. Sometimes, because there are multiple moons, the tides can be rather aggressive, depending on the rotations of the moons and where they are in the sky. So the wash, as it is known, can be rather aggressive and can be very, very high, depending on the time of year that it is and where the moons are in the sky.
Okay, so I'll just quickly say, yeah, I mean, this is from the wash, the flood that we just saw. So I would say speed might be off the essence, because if that thing comes again, we're probably all going to drown in here, and I really don't want it to go out that way, so...
That's a valid point.
I'll kneel down. Do I see any, in both, because I'm comparing both paths, do I see any difference in, I guess, where, you know how, when you go hiking,
Oh, like footpath?
Yeah, like a footpath, like a worn down footpath within
I mean, I think you would. You'd see Vellum's footpath from previous.
wait, somewhere he previously came from?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I will
be
lean
pretty
into,
evident in the kind of moist
I will lean
ground.
into Talonor and I will kind of point
Yeah, it's the northern path.
Okay, let's follow that.
I really should have scrubbed those out, shouldn't I?
Because I lean in and I try to do it really indiscreetly. I don't really know. I'm not super great at stealthy, but I just kind of I lean in and I go, and I nod my head that way, look at the ground to see if he can catch on. But I'm assuming so, because Talonor's a smart boy.
I'm watching what you're doing anyway. And,
okay.
Yeah.
Indiscreet as a sledgehammer. So yeah, I'll follow. Yeah, I'll just say, okay, let's follow the tracks, perhaps.
Absolutely. You take a step forward to the north. The wall bursts into green flames and rushes towards you. A spectral dragon head erupts from the flames, and the corridor fills with furious, hissed words. Does anyone know Draconic?
Oh, it's not Hanzo yelling something at me?
Is that Reyna knows Draconic?
Vellum also knows.
That's actually right, yeah.
Well, Vellum, this isn't for you.
I'm just saying.
Reyna, you would understand the words being spoken in Draconic. Trespassers, desecrators, betrayers, turn back now. Turn back like you did then. The cataclysm comes again. Leave.
Realizing that nobody is understanding this, kind of with the looks of the confusion, she will literally just kind of translate in the moment.
Well, looks like we triggered their alarm system.
What do you
Let's hope
do?
it was just that.
Well, I mean, we've
It's
seen
still
these-
there.
Can we? And I mean, obviously,
Hang-
like, because so
hang
basically
on.
we get our like weapons ready, or Venna gets her weapons ready because she
Uh-huh.
doesn't know what this is.
The spectral
And then-
image sees the weapons become prepared. I need wisdom saving throws from the group.
Okay.
Plus
You
one.
I can't help it. Okay, that's literally what she would do in that.
Sure.
You're trying to attack a fire.
She doesn't know. She's just like, it spooked her.
Do
came
me
back
as well,
nowhere.
Joel, for this sort of stuff? I don't know. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You're aware that like this is stuff that
Oh,
happens.
no.
Yeah. Everyone who you each get a +1, but everyone who rolled under a 16 makes a random melee attack at a creature
Oh.
within reach.
Oh man, you said six, and then you was like, oh yeah, I did. I rolled a 6, and you're like 16, and I was like,
16.
no.
I
Talonor,
miss
yeah.
Ravenna,
So
Lashes out
everybody
against
starts
Ravenna.
swinging at each other.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone just swings at a random person. Talonor swung at Ravenna. Ravenna, who is it? It's either Vellum or Talonor. It is supposed to be random.
Why is it? That I
One
roll
is
really
Talonor.
good
It's Vellum.
when I
You
don't
swing at Vellum. Vellum, you have a D3. You swing at Reyna. Svartal, you have a D2. You swing at Vellum.
Oh, God.
Damn,
It's
Vellum.
not good.
So roll damage. Svartal, roll damage. Vellum, roll damage. Ravenna, roll damage. Talonor missed.
I don't want to.
Wait, why does it say rage? I'm not raging.
No, it's just toggled on. You just take the 10. It's right underneath all of your attacks. There's a toggle.
Yeah, I don't know why
It's
I was-
always there.
Whoopsies.
Oh my god. Svartal rolls maximum damage at 15. Ravenna rolls 10. And Vellum rolls 10. The spectral dragon head disappears.
Do the flames
Each of you-
remain?
Huh?
Do the flames remain?
Flames are gone.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I didn't hit it. Wait, was anyone hitting me? I don't think they were. I think it was.
I swung
Talonor
you, but I
missed.
Yeah. Okay.
Vellum
Vellum-
picks himself up from the floor,
I
dramatically
try
pulls
to
out a
help
little
him
journal
after
from his
realizing-
pouch and writes furiously, I see, this will be noted.
I tried to
Okay.
help him up, and I go. I'm sorry.
I
You
should have stood
startled
further
me.
back, really. I knew it was coming.
If you knew, you
no.
should have said something.
Well,
Okay,
no,
so
it's
let's-
supposed to be a test. I can't tell you, watch
it
out
really a
for the
test
dragon,
if-
which will make us attack each other when... that's going to spoil it, right?
Is it really a beneficial test if you get hurt in the, in
Well,
the
I suppose
crossfire?
you'd have to ask who created the test, because I sure as heck didn't, so...
Well, then you must ask the person who created the test if you're.
Vellum, do you take the notes of like everybody who attempts this?
No, this is a new thing for me, so...
Oh no. The first time on the job and you're about to get slain?
Hey,
You should
I'm-
ask the person in charge if they really care about your well-being or not.
No, I wasn't questioning your experience. I was actually going to incapacitate you and steal your notebook if you said yes. So,
No, it's...
okay, well, in that case, okay, what have we learned? Don't show hostility. Ravenna, drawing your weapon, clearly angered or triggered, to be blunt, some form of enchantment here that's designed to ward away hostility. So, let's push on, put our weapons away, and let's just be cautious about this, yes?
I was taken by surprise, and it's a habit. I apologize. It will not happen again. And she sheathes her halberd.
Wonderful.
If Svardo, I'm gonna tell you right now, if Svardo would have hit Reyna, he'd be in shambles right now, like bad. It'd be
Luckily, it's
it'd
the
be
new
real
guy that
bad.
gets hit for 15
It's only valid.
damage.
I got no connection to the new guy, but if it was Reyna, oh, he'd be in shambles.
So,
Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to cast Detect Magic on myself. That's going to give us 10 minutes if I can see anything enchanted around us. And we're not going to run forward with our weapons out. Excellent. That's the plan. So I'm going to cast Detect Magic on myself.
oh yeah, I believe it has a 30-foot radius.
Yes, 30 feet. Yeah. And
Which
then
is
we're
great.
going to keep heading north cautiously.
Yep, it does have some limitations about full cover and stone and lead and whatever, but we'll take that into account as we move along. So,
Yeah, it's stone I think, lead and 3 feet of dirt or something?
Yes. To keep things easy, I'm going to just move people ahead. Vellum, would you stay in the center, or would you be like, all right,
No,
maybe
I'm like way hanging back, like peeking around the corner, like, okay, just so where I can just see them.
He like dips back, and
I
Reyna...
lost 25 health on the first. I'm not even being the one. I'm not the one being tested here. So
for
your constitution's being tested.
for our camera and people at home, Vellum, as you fall to the back there, a small spectral green dragon head emits from the wall and whispers into your ear. Sorry about that. And then fades back into the wall.
Did you have to get me with it?
And he just fades back away.
Not seeing that, Reyna would like turn to him and speak to him real quick. You know, Vellum, you could consider it providing us rules instead of cheating or helping. In order
what do you mean provided you rules?
Well,
like, here's a rule. There's a dragon head up ahead. That's not really a rule, is it?
No, as in like rule number 1, don't attack unless it attacks us. Those are kind of good rules.
But that's more. I would say that's more of a hint than a rule.
Okay, are hints not allowed?
Not really. No, not unless you want to reduce your final prize money.
Okay, insight check.
Insight check. Ravenna kind of like tilts her head like, I didn't think we would be getting compensated for such a test.
No, I'm just kidding. There's the compensation is being alive at the end of it.
So, Mr. I'm just taking 25 damage above table. How about you give us some hints, maybe?
I mean, if you are struggling with something, then I might feel kind enough to divulge something, but let's just proceed for now.
Okay. The next chamber. Mismatched bones lie scattered around the large chamber. The cavern itself is natural. The ceiling is caved in. And with it, part of a building has fallen into the cavern. Inside the collapsed structure are strewn wooden heads and decaying hats.
Like pointy hats, top hats, kind of hats.
All sorts of hats, yeah. It looks like perhaps a hat shop fell here.
Interesting. Do I see anything with my detect magic?
You do. Underneath a pile of shattered wood and feathery hats, there's an emanation of enchantment magic.
Okay. Well, there's something under there. However, judging from Vellum's somewhat cautious demeanor and positioning, we can ascertain that something is going to occur if we charge in, I dare say. I tell you what, we can always use the sacrificial mage hand. I'll summon my slightly terrifying hand and gently see if I can move some hats to see what's under.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can. And what you would end up seeing in the area here is effectively the head of some kind of stone golem.
What does it look like? I know that's a broad
it is
question.
effectively just the head sit kind of sideways underneath, and its eyes just move.
Its eyes are moving.
Yeah.
Is it like following us, like one of those spooky paintings where the eyes are
Absolutely.
like concave? Oh.
Huh.
You're being
Can
observed.
we try to speak to it?
Sure.
I'll say, hello?
There is no response.
Cool story.
Interesting. And it's just following us around the room with its
Just
eyes.
looking. Yeah.
What is it? Okay. If I pick up one of the hats, what are the hats? Are they different? Are the hats of certain note, or are they just generally arrayed hats?
None of the hats are magical. Like your detect magic would tell you that,
okay.
and also magical hats would not rot in the way that these have.
Okay.
Hey, Reyna, do you speak the language that what that thing was saying to us?
Draconic, yes.
Do what Talonor just did, but in that.
I translate what Talonor said into Draconic.
Yep. The head does nothing. Continues to just look at each of you with its eyes.
Well, hang on. We've already seen that this place had some sort of alarm system. That golem is watching us. It's taking no action because we haven't entered the shop. Everything we've said so far, seen so far even, has said that we should probably just leave it alone. I mean, none of these hats are magical. There's nothing else in there that's enchanted, I can tell that. So there's nothing in there of particular note to us unless, you know, there is some sort of information in there, but there is nothing of obvious value there. Yet that golem is keeping an eye on us. So my theory is it's going to do one of two things. It's either going to attack us if we enter the shop, or it's going to attack us if we try to leave. Now, we want to leave at some point anyway, so we might as well go for option 2 in my theory.
I don't want anything in there.
Well, I'm glad you don't want a hat.
Okay. So do we just move around?
I nod and
Yeah,
I go.
can we walk
I
around the
nod.
edge of the shop?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Is the golem, like, I'm very much so doing it fixated on the golem head.
You do. And it just watches. It just looks at you as you circle around the edge of the shop here. It just watches. You choose to go
Does
south
the whole
or
thing
north.
spin to like, or
No, it's
'Cause
just
I-
like canted on its side. Like it just watches as far as it can.
oh, okay, it's okay.
Do we
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
anything obvious to the south of? I know there's the water to the south.
Just the sound of water. Not really anything heard. It's clear it's a flooded passage there. You can see that the chamber itself has the natural stone formations, but then there's a floor worked of marble blocks. You can see maybe there's perhaps a carving down there on the wall, but there's no objects. Okay. You dip into the southern passage, which is connected by the pass over on the eastern side. Don't worry, Vellum, I will move you backwards because, of course, we want you to be safe, right? This particular pass
Absolutely.
is seems to have suffered a bit of a cave-in towards the south, is flooded. And you can see at the southwest wall does have a carving depicting a dragon in flight. The chamber transitions from natural stone walls to a floor of worked marble blocks, and half the dragon's body in that particular carving is submerged in the dark water. The hallway beyond is flooded, and there is a lot of rubble blocking the way.
Spooky.
Well, I guess we should head north. We can't seemingly progress this way. So, yeah, I'll go check the north side, I suppose.
Sure. Walk around the location until you get to the northern corridor. Don't worry, once again, just gonna drag everyone up this way. Do. Talonor. Go up onto the northern side and you see another cave-in here to the north. But it does open up into a passageway towards your south and west. You can see here enormous reptilian bones jut from the walls of the natural corridor.
Are we dead?
Do I recognize? I mean, I don't know.
You can
anything
use
else from
Arcana
those.
if you'd like to, but you will need to get closer to investigate these bones.
How big are we talking?
Large.
I'm just gonna guess they're dragons because we've already seen a dragon. So I'm gonna say, do we think they're dragon bones? Has anybody ever seen a dragon ribcage before? No. Vellum?
Can't say I have unless it's related to any other animal from the forest.
His history about this realm, like dragons kind of stopped existing for a while, right? Or am I
They
getting that wrong?
disappeared during the cataclysm.
Yeah, okay. So then, yeah, no, never seen one.
You've seen draconic type things like drakes. They're going to be more like lizards or crocodiles or alligators, right? Like reptiles.
But like
true
barely
dragons,
taller than me, right?
That's why, like dragonels, you haven't seen really. Like wyvern types, you haven't seen. Dragons for sure haven't seen. They just 200 years ago, they're gone.
And how many is it like? Sorry, is it like one big skeleton in the wall, or what is it?
You can roll investigation to start picking it out, or arcana if you would like to, or perception check for kind of a basic understanding.
I'll roll Arcana first to check if it's. Well, I have my detect magic up actually. I'd see if they're doing anything. Okay, I'll roll investigation.
Yeah, that's fine too.
13.
Combination of your detect magic and investigation, you are quite sure these are dragon bones. They're also enchanted.
Ooh. Yuck.
Can I? I know I only recognize the enchantment. I wouldn't actually be able to tell what it's going to do. Okay. Well, can I tell the school of enchantment? Because I can do that with
Enchantment
detect
is
magic.
the school.
Oh fuck!
Remember, it's
Fuck
just the big
you,
8.
John, you fucking smart prick. What is what's going on? All right. Everything we've seen enchanted so far has been a trap. So Talon,
Which is
in his infinite
one
wisdom,
thing, yes.
Nah,
That is
golem's
true.
looking a little. If I walked in that shop and I hadn't seen the golem under the pile of hats, I'm pretty sure he would have eaten my ass.
Maybe.
Not in a good way. So,
Oh, Jesus.
based on empirical evidence, Talonor is going to try to dispel magic on the bones and clear their enchantment. Because he can do that.
Let's see, it is.
Now, you'd have to know what level. I think it is pretty good against. So if it's 3rd level enchantment or lower, it just immediately ends. If it's 4th level or higher, I have to do a check.
It's definitely a check, but it is a specific spell that I'm trying to remember the name of.
Enchant bones.
Yeah, it's Enchant Bones!
Enchant the giant dragon bones in the wall.
Oh no, it's necromancy.
It's a 1th level spell.
Oh, yeah.
Hang on. Now I gotta go look for it. It is definitely a roll, though. What's its name? None of these. Sorry, I totally. Yes,
No,
this one.
no, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay.
Go on, what level is it? I'm gonna roll
You don't get to
anyway,
know.
It doesn't. Well, I have to roll anyway.
You have to roll. Yeah.
Oh,
It is just your
it's a
spellcasting check.
charisma ability, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. 15.
15 is not high enough.
Fuck. All right.
Talonor weaves this magic in an attempt to dispel the enchantment here, and it fizzles and fades.
What was that?
There's something enchanted on these bones up ahead. I do possess the skills to remove it, but unfortunately my first attempt was somewhat unsuccessful. I'm trying to discern whether it's worth trying again, or... I mean, I will just simply tell you all. Should we progress through this chamber, based on what's happened so far, we are going to trigger some sort of enchantment. Now, what we must decide as a group is, do we wish to face that risk and deal with it, or should I attempt to clear them again?
Do you want me to start moving these big rocks?
I'm not entirely linking that to our problem right now, Svartal, but I'm very interested to hear your idea.
I mean, there were 2
Oh, you
paths
mean
before.
to move to the north?
Yeah, there were
Well,
2 paths before.
But
One was
Svartal,
bad.
think of it this way. Clearly, whoever has set this up is protecting that way. So the way that we are intended to go is likely that way. Because remember, this is a test of sorts. To the north, we don't
What if
even
it's
know
a
if there's
test of
anything there.
strength? and I lift
It
things.
could be. That would be a wonderful twist, and I am willing to entertain the notion. But I think, given the pressing time issue and the fact we've seemingly been teleported to the arse end of nowhere, we may wish to proceed with some form of haste. So, what do we think? What do we think I should do? Should I attempt to clear it again? It will use up some of my arcane reserves, or we can. Well, there's two options. Svartal, you can just go smash the bones. We can deal with the consequences, or we can just throw Vellum through the middle and see what happens.
That will be a mark against you if you try to do that.
But who's the one that's taking the notes?
Yes, you are technically the only person here who's not willing to help. So we're making you help.
If I don't survive the journey, it might be a black mark against you. I will just say that.
Do you have that in writing?
I was just
Well,
going to say, previously, though, you put yourself in harm's way.
Not willingly.
You are still caught in the crossfire.
You have already accidentally get hit by one of the traps, so,
Also, does this black mark go in your journal?
It's more a metaphorical sort of thing I meant,
Okay, so what do we feel like doing?
I trust your judgment.
That's a lot of responsibility. Okay.
I don't mind charging into stuff. You just let me know.
Yes, I just didn't really want to put you at too much risk, but we're fairly on in the process. It may not be that drastic. Svartal, why don't you go and see if you can, I don't know, dislodge the bones or some such, and we'll be prepared to aid you should it go wrong.
Okay.
Are you trying to use my... as she's like trying to
Svartal,
finish it.
I turned to her about halfway through the sentence. I'm like, essentially, yes. And I think we both know he's quite good at that, so I'm not too worried.
Yeah, I wouldn't pull out a weapon or anything. I tried to see if I can pull the bones out of the wall.
Okay, so Svartal, you go down into the chamber to attempt to pull the bones out of the wall. We'll say you stop at the first one here and reach out to do so. The tunnel fills with the sound of rattling. I'm going to go ahead and delete this drawing. I don't know who keeps drawing things. As the bones in the wall begin to move, some lash towards you. Chattering jaws hiss ancient words as incomplete skeletons come exploding forth.
Very good. At least they're incomplete. That's good.
Roll initiative.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be like, they grab you and you can't move anymore. Nope. Explodey boys.
We've got
Nice.
no disadvantage on this, right?
No, you guys are
Okay.
full healed.
So that I have advantage.
Mm-hmm. The three incomplete dragon skeletons emerge from the walls, missing bones and entire limbs. The creatures speak. You hear them speaking Draconic, Reyna hissing down the way. You fly on our backs, you soar on our bones. They continue to repeat refrains much like the dragon from the first corridor, accusing you as your group as traitors, interlopers, trespassers. Top of the turn order is Svartal, because you are so fast, so nimble. What do you
So
want to
fast.
do?
I mean, Srata would just protect himself, I guess, by because they seem hostile, right? They seem like they're about to
Yeah,
come at me.
Currently
Okay.
being hostile.
Yeah. All right. Well then, I mean, he'd pull out his great axe and start swinging.
Okay.
We're gonna do that recklessly.
Okay.
Doing so good. Okay, so then I do this. Perfect. Swing. 16.
16 absolutely hits.
10.
For 10.
Yep. And then I'll do it again.
Absolutely.
11.
11 unfortunately does not hit as it is turned away by the natural bony armor.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
At the end of your turn, Svartal, bony hands explode from the ground. I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw as grasping skeletal claws reach to grapple you. Do you have
4.
advantage due to danger sense?
Oh. 10.
10. Still not enough. Svartal ends up grappled. One of the dragon skeletons will lunge forward from the south end and bite at him. It's a 22 to hit with his grapple here. It will be 9 piercing and 7 poison. Vellum, is there anything that you would like to do?
I think Vellum will like sit down against the wall here and pull out some like roast scorpion from his pack and just start having a wee snack and watching.
Yeah, writing in the journal. Sure. Reyna?
Moving forward to the target that is in combat with Svartal. Sword and board. That way I have the defense. Going in one-handed with the first attack.
10 will miss.
And second attack.
Natural 1 will also miss.
Chicken freaking nuggets. All right, well,
Do you want to utilize your ability on that second one? Because you do get an amount of those per day.
No, not yet. We're still early in the fight. Thank you, though.
Yep, Talonor.
How blasty do I want to go? Tell you what, I'm just going to fire a Chaos Bolt at the one that bit Svartal.
Okay.
And that is a natural 20. Look at that.
That is a 29 total.
That is a 29 to hit. Me good at magic.
That's, yeah.
That is a level 1 spell. 22 points of damage, and I can pick almost any. Oh god, I can never remember the bloody damage types in this. Hang on.
Make it a range.
Oh, look at that. What a legend. So I think I can. Yeah,
On
I think
both
because I
D8s,
crit, I get
Tiana.
extra choices. It doesn't really matter, but I'll just make it like force damage. They're made of bones.
You
Bones
rolled
don't
2
like force.
2s, so it leaps.
What? What do you mean?
Right? So you have a 2 and a 4 and a 3 and a 2. Two of those are matching.
Yeah, oh, yeah, sorry, it does. It multi-targets, doesn't it? I always
Yeah.
forget that because I never crit with this thing.
Yeah. Right? Like, make a new attack roll against a
oh.
target within 30
Oh
feet.
my god, do you have to do a new one? This feels
Yeah.
so complicated.
Well,
Oh,
this
I
it
miss
never
fireballs.
happens.
I
Yeah,
know,
it
I've like,
never
never
happens.
crit with this.
23
not
absolutely
rare.
hits.
It's not random, is it?
No. It's choice.
No, it's not random. I
The
Okay.
damage is the
Crazy.
chaotic portion.
Okay.
19 on the save. The max damage. That's max
Double
damage
eights.
level.
It jumps again.
Oh,
Oh.
god. What the hell?
It deals
You can only
thunder
hit-
damage,
This is the last one.
And then leaps again to the last in the row.
I've never crit with Chaos Bolt. 17.
17 still hits.
Oh my god. 11 points of damage.
For 11, 7 or 1, acid or psychic.
Oh my god. Okay. I'll do force on the first one. Was it lightning on the next one? And then,
double eights is thunder.
thunder. Sorry, thunder damage. That's even better. And then what was the last choice? Psychic or?
Poison.
Oh, psychic. The bones.
Yeah, good idea. They're immune to poison. So there's double explosions down the way, and then
I
a
just did
screech
51
from the
damage
last
with a level
one.
1 spell.
I've never had Chaos Bolt jump, much less twice in
That
the
must be the
same cast.
Best level 1 spell of all time. 51 damage.
51 damage for a level 1 spell slot.
Holy shit.
22 on
Okay.
the first. You watch as it explodes into the skeleton here. It's hard to tell when a skeleton is bloodied, but its shattered form is even further broken. The second taking 19 points of damage, a huge blow to the skeleton as well. Parts of its limbs being blown across the room. And then again, the last in the row, screeching in pain as it does seem it can still feel psychic pain.
Also, thunder in a small corridor like this? Are
You're all deaf,
ears
it's fine.
ringing?
Yeah. Not
Yeah,
having
I've
the
never
deafened
understood what
condition, but
thunder
it
damage
sucks.
is meant to be.
Yeah.
Map.
Both
Okay.
thunder and
Map.
force exist as damage types, so I don't know.
Map.
All right. Talonor, that's just your action.
My bonus action, I'll ask Vellum if I pass yet, and my turn.
Because you could twin cast that and then
I
Do
could
it
twin
again.
cast it. I'm not gonna do it though. Alright, yeah, I'll just end my turn.
she's in front. I can't. All right. I can't do any
Actually,
of the
I'll take a
HP
step
stuff.
back and
Maple
I'll-
is rolling on my keyboard. So, Ravenna, what are we doing? mentally
Alright,
keeping track
so-
now.
I'm going to use my movement 5, 10, 15, 20 to the guy in front of me, and
Mhm.
I would like to rage.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, and then I'm going to swing my halberd at him.
Yes. 23 hits.
Okay. And then damage.
Yeah. So 10 or
And
10 on the
then-
first.
And then let's see here. I would like to use one of my because I had to hit it. So I'd like to use one of my superiority die to use one of my abilities,
Which is?
which would be oh, how big is this guy?
They are large.
I'm gonna say I don't think I can grapple him.
One size larger should be able to. It's 2 sizes
Oh, okay.
larger.
Yeah, I will attempt to. Actually, I'll attempt to trip it.
Okay, trip attack. So that's a strength save, I believe, from the creature. That is a
Yes.
12 on the save.
Okay.
I believe it still gets knocked prone. What is your save?
My save is. Where's my strength save? There we go.
No. It's 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your
Oh, 8
strength
plus the-
modifier.
Okay, my strength modifier is 3. It's 17, 18, 19, 20. 20.
Your DC to
Right?
save is not 20. Okay,
Maybe
it
it's
is
not 20.
8
I think I'm doing it
plus
wrong.
your proficiency, which is 3, so that's 11, plus 3 more is 14.
Okay, yeah, it's
That's
14.
the save. So it still fails because it rolls a 12, so it is a prone
yeah.
dragon skeleton now.
Okay.
And you get to deal the extra d8 of damage because you rolled your attack,
Mm-hmm.
right? So roll me a d8.
1d8.
For an additional 1, but he is prone.
Okay.
And
And
you
then
now have
get to
2
attack again.
attacks. Yep, this time with advantage because he's prone.
Excellent. Okay, I will hit him with my halberd again.
Yeah, absolutely. 13 unfortunately does miss. Even with the advantage, you're not able to find a good mark against the skeletal creature.
And then my polearm bonus counts as my second attack, correct?
No, polearm bonus is a bonus action. You have used your bonus action to rage
To
this
use
turn.
my maneuver. Yeah. Okay. So then I will attack
So there's
again
no-
with it.
No. You
No?
get 2 attacks on your action. You used
Uh-huh.
your bonus action to rage. That's it. You're done.
Yeah. No, I'm done. Yep. Okay.
All right.
I got too ahead of myself. Yep.
Yep. You're like
Yup.
next turning it. It's
Sorry.
fine.
I'm just
Uh,
like, I'm ready.
End of your turn. You do need to
Yes.
make me a dexterity saving throw against the grasping hands because you did hit this skeleton, so it will try to grapple. That is a 20. That is successful. Now, we do have bony guys kind of going up and into the walls, trying to get in and around. This one will take both attacks of opportunity. Well, won't even need to. We'll just get to Talonor. There's going to be 2 attacks, one against the held Svartal, one against Talonor. One against Svartal is a 15 to hit, which hits for 10 piercing and 8 poison damage. One against Talonor is a 24 to hit for 7 piercing and 7 poison damage. Svartal.
Oh, I'm up already? All right.
Yeah.
Well, I can't move. So what happens with I guess I wouldn't need to reckless attack a prone enemy?
Yeah, so here's the deal. You are currently grappled by the hands down at the bottom, so your attacks are made at disadvantage. You can cancel that out by making an attack against a prone enemy, so it's just a standard attack.
Yeah, do that. I want to do that.
You're currently restrained.
Yeah, I attack the prone Dargurn for 10. That's not
10
probably not
will
good.
miss.
All right. And then I'm going to do it again.
Yep. Already on the attack action, so might as well do it again. 17 does
17.
hit. Roll damage.
Cool.
So the axe comes
For
crashing down into the broken draconic form here. Yeah, I mean, they're looking mightily wounded at this point. It seems that Talinor's magic was exceedingly effective against these first two.
I'd say so.
Svartle, anything else?
No, because there's nothing I can do to try to break the grapple, right? Not after
You
using
have to
my
utilize
action.
your action.
Yeah. Okay. No, I'm good.
Okay. Still no rage. Got it. This is the one on the ground. This one will get up from its prone condition and attack out at Ravenna. The bite is a 21 to hit for 7 piercing, halved to 3 and 14 poison damage. Full. Vellum.
I'll just move forward for a better view, but other than that, I'll hang out.
You know, plop back down there and be like, oh, yes. Good
That
stuff.
was a good strike, Talonor.
Oh.
Yes, he writes it down in his notebook.
Yes.
You're my favorite.
Reyna.
There's like hearts around Svartle's name. Svartle. Let's go for the one in front of Svartle.
Yeah, 24 does hit. 8. Do you want to pour on anything else?
You wouldn't be a deceitful DM and make me waste my spells, would you? You'd
No,
only
divine,
ask me
Divine Smite is something you get to do on a hit. Whether or not
Okay.
it works, you don't know until you do it.
Oh no, I meant as in like I thought that my divine smites take out my spell pool. Like I'll lose my spell slots if I do that. 1 second.
Yeah. Yes, you use a spell slot to deal 2d8 radiant damage on a hit. If it is an undead creature, you get an extra d8.
No, I don't want to waste my divine smite just yet.
All right.
I keep
All right, that's strike 1 then. Second
it's still
attack.
standing.
Yep.
Okie dokie, second attack.
19 hits.
Huzzah!
For 9 more. Yeah, this one will be enough, and it crumbles into the ground here. Hissing out in Draconic. The betrayers strike again. We die again at their hands. And
Also,
falls.
when they speak and everybody hears that, Reyna's also translating like
Sure.
in the moment, so people
They're
can
saying
understand.
we're betrayers. That we're betraying them again.
Yeah, just like that.
I imagine it's just like really ragged, like they're saying we're our betrayers. And
Reyna, because you did hit this time, I need a dexterity saving throw against the grasping hands. That is a 7. You are restrained. You have a bonus action remaining.
Bonus action. It's pretty much just healing spells, but I am now grappled, and I'm pretty sure that I have to be touching them.
Yep,
So
probably.
I will end my turn.
Okay, Talonor. Face to face with one of these bony guys. What do you want to do?
Yeah, that's a good question, isn't it, Joel? That's the question of the moment. What can I do against big bony boy in my face? Let's have a look. Yeah, I'll vampiric touch it.
Okay. Vampire Touch is necrotic.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, they got necrotic energy. I'll steal some of that. I'll be fine.
Okay.
14.
A
Fuck.
14 will just miss.
God damn it.
But you are now concentrating on
I am.
Vampiric Touch.
Yeah, I do now have vampiric touch. Yeah, there's not too much else I can. I mean, no. Okay, no, I'll actually use on my turn though.
Okay, Ravenna.
okay, I'm going to attack the one that I had previously prone.
Yep.
With my halberd.
Albert goes swinging. 21 hits. 14.
Okay.
Second attack.
And then, yep, second attack.
That one is a natural 1 and unfortunately will miss. This time,
Okay.
you do get your bonus action polearm if you would like it.
Yes, I will use it.
Polearm bonus is a crit. The bludgeoning damage slams across and crushes into the bones, and it goes scattering across the grasping hands on the ground. It hisses out again. Once more betrayed, once more killed.
As it's whispering, as it's like, whispering
more.
that,
That's right.
I will go. I will go, yeah, let's go. Like as it's like saying
One more kill.
I will turn around and be up in this. Like I will go into his personal bubble.
Yep.
Right here, and then I will end my turn.
Personal bubble is personal bubble. The last of the skeletons will try to bite Kalinor. It's a 24 for 6 piercing and 4 poison. Is the Chaos Bolt for a particular reason, or?
No, sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. I was trying to close the info on it. I was just dropping. I was saying my Dispel Magic dropped because I'm not concentrating on it.
Ah, true.
Oh,
Accurate.
no, that's actually not a concentration spell, is it? I'm wrong. I always think
Is
it
it
is,
not?
but...
It
What?
says it
Is it?
is.
Oh, yeah, it
Vampiric-
is. Sorry, I'm reading
Vampiric
Dispel.
Touch?
They look like
Yeah.
the same.
No.
Detect
Vampiric
Magic
is
also.
detect, I believe.
Yeah, my
also
Detect's gone.
is.
My Detect's gone.
Yeah.
Oh.
That being said, I still need a con save from the 10 points of damage I just took. DC 10 for Vampiric Touch. Good to go. All right. Vellum. You've been able to understand everything that's happening here.
Mm-hmm. And they're doing well.
They're doing all right.
Yeah.
They're
I'm
doing
gonna
all
write
right.
a smiley face in my journal for this.
All right.
Gold star next to Talinor's name for the triple hit Chaos Bolt.
Yeah. Oh, I accidentally skipped Svartal. Svartal, what would you like to do?
Yeah.
You're currently restrained.
Yeah, I'd like to break out of that. I'd like to try to break out of it.
Athletics check.
Boom. 18.
Absolutely do. You wrench through the grasping bony hands, breaking them off at the wrists and fingers and crunching through them.
Okay. I'm just gonna be happy that I did that and
Sure.
chill here for a second.
All right. Vellum is happy with how things are going. Raina, what are we doing? What is likely
That
the
thing is
last
still
round
standing.
here?
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and try and hit it. Hit number 1.
12 will miss.
Chicken nuggets. Hit number 2.
14 will miss.
Chicken nuggets. All right. See, after that, it's Talinor's turn, and then I will end my turn.
Talinor.
I will attack it with my Vampiric Touch attack.
Absolutely. 12.
12.
Also misses.
That's fun. God damn it. That's a +9 that I'm missing.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, oh god, it's... Yeah, I'm just gonna Misty Step away from it.
Okay.
Which way do I want to go? That's a good question. I'm gonna Misty Step behind Svartal. Whee!
Any additional
All right.
movement?
No, that's it.
Ravenna, you are currently right next to it. What do you want to do?
I'm going to swing at it.
Yeah.
So swing.
One
Oh.
miss. A natural 1.
Swing.
That is 2 natural ones in a row.
Oof.
Swing.
Full arm bonus at 24 does hit.
No.
The bludgeoning damage goes slamming across and seems especially effective against these bones.
It just got caught in your clothing twice.
That ends my turn.
The skeleton wheels around here and hisses out in Draconic. Once betrayers, always betrayers.
Once betrayers, always betrayers.
Good. And
What's a betrayer?
we'll lash out at Raina. That is a natural 20 and a 25. 19 piercing and 20 poison.
Brass, I Mitch. What? How much?
19 piercing, 20 poison.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
I think
That's a big
I'm
hit.
down. I'm down.
Raina goes down.
Ouch. Okay, well, I mean, you know, I guess it's time to leap over Raina's body and get close, you know, in front of Vellum to be like gold stars for me and swing reckless attack.
Yeah. 11 will miss.
11. Try it again.
Someone just hit, please.
No.
10 will miss.
Oh, wow.
Oh boy.
How about those gold stars, Vellum? How's that feel?
Oh, I'm just gonna draw a sad face.
I got
Just
overly
fine.
excited.
He draws a star, looks up, and then draws a sad face in the star.
Reyna, I need a death save.
No.
Chicken nuggets.
That is a natural 1. That is 2 immediate failures.
Oh my god.
Ow.
Come on, not again.
Talonor.
Is this thing like crumbling apart? Is
Yes.
it on its last? Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna fireball it. 24
24 hits for 11. And it does crumble to the
Nice.
ground.
Quick, somebody save Reyna.
Yeah, can I like run to her?
You are right next to her. There's no running
Oh
necessary.
yeah, we have no one else who heals now.
Okay, cool. I will go to her and because we got 12 healing pots, correct?
Negative. You got 6 and 2 greater.
Why did I think 12?
I don't know.
I was like, that's an excessive amount.
That's a lot. That's a lot. You have 6 regular healing potions, which I assume were distributed at least once amongst you. I never heard who got the graders.
Yeah, just give me one regular.
I had a regular. Like, I assumed that I would probably take 2 regulars. Or 1 regular. 1 regular.
That's fine.
Good
I'm
lord.
just no one said where they went. Those are the potions.
I will use my 1 regular healing pot
It's 2d4
on
plus 2,
Reyna.
which is fine enough. That is for 8. Reyna, you are conscious.
And as soon as becoming conscious, I'm going to immediately like, oh, fuck, and like grab my chest and dump laying on hands into myself.
Okay. How many points?
Let's go. Oh, shoot. Do I want to? Really, we might get a short rest, so I'll do 7 for now.
Okay. Reyna looks severely wounded. Talonor also looking not so peachy himself. Yeah, they did pretty. They did okay, Vellum. They did okay, right? Not bad.
A bit brute force, you know.
Yeah,
That's my only criticism.
a little bit. But as we finish this portion of the test through the path of memories, we've gone way over than what I expected today to get to. But that is okay. I'm glad we got to play. We will continue through the path of memories and then on to, hopefully, should we survive, Talonor's test and meeting Demolin, the High Mage. Thanks for joining us today. I do appreciate it. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye!
You get to say it again. Congratulations.